In our first featured matchup presented by Mercedes-Benz, we have the usual Giant Slayers, GAM Esports from the VCS, stepping into the shoes of the Giant themselves. Woo! With an impressive performance from Kiaya last Worlds, helping to take a game off of Top Esports and effectively knocking them out of the competition.
Can he find the stuns? And GAM stays alive!
Fans are hoping to see him dominate the playing stage. Loud's top laner Robo from the CBLOL has the hopes of the Brazilian fans riding on his back in this opening matchup. If he is able to be the David to the up-and-coming Goliath of Kiaya, he may be able to put the wind back in the sails of a region looking for a hero.
GAM versus Loud.
Robo. Let's go, Robo. Let's go, Robo.
VCS and the CBLOL will be facing off. Welcome back to the Analyst Desk. I'm Quickshot, joined by Kulbok and Raz. We are having a lot of fun today, and I'm expecting this to be a fun series. Not only is it the first time ever that these two regions are going to be going head
We're
to
here
head,
for
These
Robo.
are two regions that have won the hearts, won the minds of many Western viewers. Their performances in international events, both Loud and GAM, are going to be synonymous with every single international League of Legends viewer.
Yeah, it's incredible. Whenever you're doing prep on either of these regions, it feels like that fun from the crowd,
Did I win
from
something?
the players.
I haven't done it yet.
Infections. Watching CBLOL specifically, every time Robos makes a play, it's just like, yeah, stands up from his seat and just lets
Brazil's
the
really
crowd know
fun.
he's
They give it some gas.
Literally did that 1v2. He played on Na against a Malphite and a Saya. He could have
Nar.
ended the game because the enemy team was at Baron trying to contest. He got
Wait,
too
are the
busy
pick'ems locked yet?
recalled, then TP'd back and did
Chat,
the game.
Discord
again.
now.
It's just the fact that the game was prolonged 30
Pick
seconds.
who you think's gonna
because
win
he wanted
versus
to
Loud and
celebrate.
GAM.
And that's the excitement we get.
Pick the winner.
Usually only seen FPS,
Quick.
not so much in League.
Thing is,
Huh?
though,
It is open.
while yes, I think in traditional
I pick
sports in
GAM.
most countries, every single
They're gonna lock
viewer,
soon.
every single fan of every single game and every
Who
single
was
sport
correct?
in Brazil,
The
has
leaderboards
that
will
level
update
of
soon,
intensity
but
and
you
passion,
guys
right?
got your
It is
points.
just something that is synonymous
Leaderboards
with
weren't
the region.
updated for 40
Let's
minutes.
dive
When they're
a bit
updated, you'll
deeper
get your
into
points.
the matchup, featured matchup rather, presented by Mercedes-Benz. We're going to start on the top lane. Let's talk about Kiaya versus Robo. We just mentioned
Minus
how exciting,
26.
how hype he gets. What do you anticipate
Minus 26
from the
gold?
actual
Oh,
gameplay,
no.
Kulbok?
Yeah, well, I think Kiaya is one of the best tops we have in play-ins as well. I could literally see him blind pick the Jax and just go.
No, don't blind pick
full ham
Jax,
from
ban
lane
it,
phase and
ban
forward.
Jax.
I kind of see him as a bit
Ban
light in
Jax.
terms of what he does with the champions too. But Robo on the other side as well have some exciting picks that can be a bit reminiscent of the Adam as well, where we see the Olafs. Also very happy to play the Na and try and just gain pressure with a ranged top laner like this. But I think a lot of this individual matchup where it gets really exciting is in the top lane.
Yeah, and I feel like the stats do tell a very accurate story. Kiaya gets the green light.
Can we
for
see
a
our own
reason.
score?
He's
Yeah, I think you can.
reliable.
If
talk
you do
to the
like,
coaches on that team,
wait
and they're
for
like,
the,
yes,
wait for the.
if
I'll
you
wait to
ask him to do
I'll
something
tell
for
you when I
he
can.
will give it to you. Robo on the other side, he's
Please
exciting in
read
team
my
fights,
last
he brings
message.
it back, but in lane it's always a struggle. So I feel like for
Oh, the
him, I need to
leaderboard
see
will
him play
update.
well up against a really tough matchup.
Also, just as personalities, Robo is one of the winning.
The
top laner
leaderboard will
in the
update
CBLOL
after the next
period.
series. Okay.
Kiaya literally learned original Vietnamese.
Made
through League of
Caedrel is
Legends.
hot.
Like his story
Thank
is
you.
he dropped out of school because they were too poor and he had to help out the family. He then got really good at League, got a job through League, learned like actual Vietnamese through League too. And it's just an incredible story in the game as well. These are some of the biggest personalities that there is from the two regions as well. So absolute huge matchup in the top lane today.
Let's start with Robo very briefly because you mentioned it. Not only one of the most winningest.
Hello,
but for the
Petro. I tried to look up the
organization, Loud are
Pick'em celebrities
first
section,
ever
but I can't
CBLOL
see you
team to
there.
have a three-peat.
Yes.
Back-to-back regional victories. Featuring Robo, of course, one of the main players, also coming to international events.
So yeah, Robo 1v2. This laning phase he had in this game was actually really terrible.
My
He just
random
built Hold breaker and just decided I'm still gonna 1v9 this game. Here he can end the game, celebrates, goes back with a recall while the enemy team is there fighting. Like he can just go and end the game with the minion wave coming through, TPs in after. But this is what I'm talking about. Like they feel the moment. You see how crowded this is from amount of region as well in the audience. There is just one of the biggest social media phenomenons as well in Loud. They have billions of views on YouTube.
Hysterics!
They are a huge team, not just in League, but in Valorant as well. They are just one of the biggest Brazilians. They are the biggest Brazilian name.
Yeah, and I mean, they show it to you in team fights. So you already saw like snippets of it, but in general,
Am I not under
it's an
Pedro
action-packed
or anything?
Team. You
Nothing?
pray that they don't change the way they play the game in an international setting. That's what I hope for. Just because, like, A, it's just who they are. Tinons has been that guy, and so like they send a lot of resources in that direction. When team fights happen, they're all on the same page.
Now let's zoom out a little bit because of course
It was a good run. I wasn't under Caedrel, I wasn't under Mark, I wasn't under Pedro, and I wasn't under Sparky, and I wasn't under Lil Porkchop.
Will dominate 1 or 2 splits in
They
a row.
didn't give me any
And
of
that
my
has changed
aliases.
pretty regularly. Now Loud, the first team ever to go 3 titles in a row, starting to cement the legacy. The exact opposite is true for GAM. They have got themselves their 4th consecutive title. They have 8. They are by far the most dominant organization coming out of the VCS. They have changed their bot lane.
know I'm
GAM
not fraud
also,
either.
I think, have been on a slightly downward spiral, I think, from their very high highs after the VCS was unable to compete. So I think expectations will be high. They want to make a statement win today against Loud.
That's a great contrast. One team that solidified domestic dominance while GAM has already done that, and they are just hungry for international success. Like any kind of movement, like talking to the team, that's something that they've zeroed in on. Slater in particular actually won domestic titles in 2020 when they weren't able to come in international. So he's been more than hungry to show that he can do it. So I'm interested to see the change up in the bot lane and what it means for the rest of the squad.
Yeah, I think it was really curious. Slater has always been this really strong-sided carry as well, and as you mentioned, he was a COVID champion, so we never got to see him internationally.
Yeah.
He was still very good.
A
the same
COVID
goes
champion.
for Pellet. They actually
That
brought
comes
Pellet
off
in
weird.
just before playoffs to have a run with Pellet and Slater because they're former bot lanes together, to have this pre-built synergy. When this roster was built, coming out of MSI, they lacked bot lane presence. So this time around, they got a strong-side bot laner. The main problem GAM had, though, was actually then implementing,
do this?
wait, we can't always play for Kiaya, who's this super god top laner. We also need to play for the bot lane now, and that's where we find most of GAM's struggles still. If they have found their identity and say, we will now play towards Slater, we know Kiaya is good enough, this becomes a very strong team.
I like the point that you made about Pallet. The guy has been to Worlds. This is his 3rd appearance, right?
Yeah, back in 2018, so it's been 4.5 years. Yeah, it's been a while.
It's nice
1 second, I'm just making sure the giveaway works, and then we'll
from him.
launch it ASAP.
They've been pretty comfortable with him as a general shot caller and playmaker. I think that the changes they've made will help them for the better.
So let's talk a little bit now about the team's play styles. I hear we're about 3.5 minutes away from picks and bans. Myself, Gulborg, and Raz, well, rather, Gulborg and Raz will be doing picks and bans. I'll be here to read you some fun stats. Let's talk about their play styles, because I think when you do look at Loud and
hold up.
GAM,
What day is it today, chat?
I think
Is it
both
Tuesday?
these teams share some similarities. Aggression, they do look for kills. I don't think they have the most control, so to speak, right? Sometimes the fights are a bit messy. I think especially when you look at how many kills they concede versus how many they secure.
It's Tuesday,
so
isn't
I think there is the potential for a bit of bloody laning phase.
Yeah, I mean, this one goes out to Twitch chat. They literally already have a meme about Croc and CBLOL if he does good is yep Croc, and if he does well in the early bad in the early game, it's nope Croc, because so much of Loud's some of their early games is so decided by Croc. And also in contrast, Levi, of course, who's one of the biggest name of GAM we haven't even talked about, is such an efficient jungler. My main problem with that is sometimes he gets too efficient, where it's like, this full clear is really good, I'm gonna get so ahead of the enemy jungler, but it's also like, you could have skipped the camps and gotten one of your laners ahead, so that creates a bit of a predictability. But looking at the junglers in the early games that have an influence on some of the lanes we've talked about will be a good indicator, because even if the early game is completely controlled by one team, it's going to be all about
as long as Croc buys a jungle item, we're off to a great start at internationals.
Specifically, this jungler here, as you can see in front of you, like I want to see what style of which he's playing. We saw J4 coming out earlier on in the tournament, but what we've seen
no way he's going to do it 2 times in a row.
At Worlds, he picked up the Karthus and like rained terror. So I am excited to see what style of play he goes for. I personally want to see that slow pace in game and just allowing him the ability to farm. That's what I'm excited about. Something, if I look at the side of Loud, it's super chaotic in the laning phase. You mentioned the solo deaths that we got from Robos in lane, the poor performances there. But Root and Sales just are dominant in their own laning phase. So they're getting solo kills on the bot side of the map. So of course, that's domestically. I just want to see if they can translate that to this international stage.
Yeah, and that's why, as a viewer, watching this game, I really want to put this in your brain. If the early game happens and Loud just falls completely behind,
in my brain.
That's pretty much an average Loud game for you. They win by their team fighting. They're the kind of team that when their back's against the wall, it's not about the macro, it's just about taking fights. Did it work? No, we'll take another fight. Did it work? We'll take another fight. And then eventually one of these fights, because of their good team fighting, will work out for them. So even if the laning phase is not there, they have an incredible skill-filled prowess in some of the team fights.
And one thing that I've noted from their recent performances is that I think their vision control got better, Loud, around objectives, because they know that that's how they're winning games. So they essentially at least have a good idea how to set up for objectives before it actually starts. That's something that I didn't see when they first came to an international stage, but through their 3P getting onto this stage now, I think that is where their strengths lie.
So let's find out a little bit more about these bottom lanes in as well. I know, Goldborg, you're talking a little bit about the fact that Saito's starting, Zin's starting in the bottom lane over Pallet a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about like what adaptations we want to see coming out of that, and also looking at Rote and Seos and
the hotel responded.
To laning phase.
I think Rote and Seos laning phase at times.
Dude, all the hotels are sold out in Korea. It's crazy. All of them. They're full.
I don't think that GAM necessarily will be able to punish this as much as they could have. I was a bit sad that GAM had to send 3 of their players to the Asia Games because the main problem they had coming out of the regular season and winning VCS was that they weren't always as good at incorporating Slater. At times when you watch the games, it feels like these are really good form members.
Wait, what is this math? 6 plus 1 is 7. Plus 3 is 10. Plus 2 is 12. Plus 3 is 15. Plus 3 is 18.
Where you skip camps, you can bot lane more, you try and expose some of the mistakes that we see from Rote and Seos. But with the lack of practice, it wouldn't even surprise me to see that.
Wait, let me do that math again. Just to make sure.
2-1 or something like that.
I mean, that's what we have to find out.
Just make sure, just make sure.
What form do they come into this game with? Just quick update for everybody at home as well as my analysts. We are just getting up on stage
1
for
plus
the players
1 is
to
2.
walk in, be
Plus
introduced
2 is
to
4.
LOL Park in
Plus 3
Seoul,
is
South
7.
Korea. While we're waiting
Plus
for those
3
players
is
to
10.
be introduced, I'm going to come to you, Raz, and say, like, you know, what would your expectations be for the form, for the teamwork, the cohesion that you're going to see out of the squad like GAM because of the Asia Games and because of the additional challenges faced from them?
I think at least in game 1 we're going to be. We've already seen nerves earlier today in their first game, and without having that much time to practice, I think that's going to hurt them. So I agree with you. I think at least my focus would be towards Kati, because Kati has been someone who's been a bit of a glue. He's had some weird picks in general, but he's been known as domestically strong glue, being able to play through Kiaya and also their jungler. And I just do want to see him play through Levi.
I forgot the +1.
All of my concerns are washed, and I think they're going to be heavy favorites.
I'm going to do something quite spicy just ahead of this. Who's going to win? What's the score going to be, and why?
Ooh, I think 2. You go first.
Okay, I think Loud wins. I think they win 2-1. I think they have the extra prep and practice. I think that GAM.
Sorry, there's 18 prizes in the giveaway. I thought there was 17. I was adding it up, and I forgot to add one of them to the thing. And now I added it. Now there's some more.
Avenues to Loud where they will then come back. I also think that they haven't had. So let's say, so for me, it's like top side GAM wins. Mid lane kind of even between. Jungle can be even as well. And then the bot lane, if Slater is not incorporated into the team, I think Root has just been better and playing team fights and Loud as a general glue together later on.
Can I jump? So you're going 2-1 Loud, but you're 60-40,
Where's the giveaway? It's going to come soon.
Like,
I'm just waiting for the picture.
Be that surprised if GAM stepped up? Like,
oh, absolutely not. I think GAM has the potential. I just think that they didn't have time to reach the potential. Even speaking to casters as well of the regions, then it's like the Brazilian casters.
I'm going to get Raz's
feeling
prediction.
Hopeful.
Because if you look behind you, I think the players are just about getting. So I need your prediction before we meet them. It's going to be a little bit more fun before we go to draft.
I actually go 2-1 in the opposite direction for GAM.
I mean, give me some reasons because I don't actually know. I don't actually know when we're going to throw. Why will GAM win? Other than spiciness.
Superior players, I think Kati, specifically Levi and Kiaya are just incredible.
Oh, we have 2 minutes, so we don't have to rush.
Okay, nice. I can talk a little bit more. I think they're a lot more flexible through topside. I think something that Loud really lack is when they get into the mid game, they tend to drop waves on side lanes.
Wait, who do they think's gonna win? They think Loud's gonna win?
GAM just take a much slower game pace. That Levi will be ahead of the pace, and we're gonna look at Kiaya.
Why is the quality of the stream so bad? I don't know. Is it
okay, so listen. I've just heard from producers because we have a minute and a half. I'm actually gonna ask Oshin and Dagda to evaluate the predictions.
What is that link?
You're going to be casting this game, so
stop linking me dog shit.
We get to wreck them. We get to wreck these guys.
Go on, boys. What you got?
So I think Goldberg's being a coward and covering all his bases.
Agreed.
And I think Raz is correct. That's my opinion.
I completely disagree. I think GB is correct that it's going to be a Loud win, but
that's
LEC
bias. That's LEC bias.
But hang on, gents. What I do like
CBLOL bias. I think CBLOL is just
LEC bias.
What I do like though is I think because there is a bit of split. Like
start the game. I'm trying.
By the way, we don't 100% know what to expect from the teams. You know, so I mean, because we've been talking a lot, Oshin, Dagda, what would you want to say for your pre-match?
I think the big wow. I think the big
is that a bus coming right now? Wow. No, I mean, to be honest with you, it is exceptionally close though. But I still think that the VCS have yet to show us their full potential.
Sorry, I'm just setting up this giveaway.
Is that, like, I think for
oh, they're still being referee scanned.
I think for GAM, I don't think they set up well for early Rift Heralds in that.
T-pose.
So I think that's where they're not going to be able to get enough of a lead in the early stages to try and snowball that before Loud are able to come back in the later stages. And also, I think the meta is just shifting into Tinone's territory. Like, favorite champion Syndra, he didn't play a single game of Tristana the entire way through, and now that's out the window, so that only helps them, right? So, honestly, I think they're in a fantastic spot. I think Loud 2-0. Easy goes.
That's enough talking from us. We're going to send it back to the analysts so they can talk a bit more about it.
I apologize, Oshina Dagda. My brain just froze, dude. I didn't have a question, so yes, I did.
Costas, how would you have done my pre-match?
We can see the players walking on stage right now. Translations on the subtitles up this time around, which I'm very happy about. A little bit of support there in LOL Park. Let's go GAM. Gulborg,
let's go GAM.
Give me some players. Who do you think is going to be prioritized in draft here? Were you surprised at all? We've seen 2 best ofs. Well, I guess we'll let the introductions play out and then we'll get back to pre-match.
Introductions.
Oh, there we go. And just missed the beginning of that one. Obviously, that'll be taken to stage. But yeah, I'll come back to this one.
To go back to your question,
Loud.
I think Dagda really hit the nail on the head there as well, talking about some of these control mages for Tinones. That's going to be pivotal. I think that GAM need to be careful of a potential Poppy coming out from Croc as well. One of his best facilitating picks. And
we're just verifying the giveaway works, and then we're going to split them.
The most pivotal champion in pretty much all of the minor regions
LLL
was Saya. And that's because so much of these team fights are decided by, well, the team fights itself. So having an AD carry that has self-heal just makes it infinitely easier. If you see an AD carry that is Saya in one of the minor regions, you can already up their win percentage by almost 10% by doing that.
I mean, listen to this. Slater went 8-3 on the champion route, went 6-2. Both of them second most played, high win ratios on those champions as well.
And I would love to see some counter pick priority for Tinones. In the finals, I love the fact that he is moving towards like.
What is it they spam in Brazil? Is it KKKK or something like that? They spam? It's like laughing or something?
It just showcases for how long of a career that he's had, the confidence that he has to go towards counter picks that maybe he hasn't played as much recently because he's picked it probably 2 to 3 years before that.
Now the other question I have for you is, what do you think Levi's going to play? When you do look at the most played champions across the board, you can add 2 players on a team up and they play less individual champions than Levi has played. He's wild, he's wacky. He could go standard, he also could go out there, right? So I'm intrigued to see what he's bringing back both from Asia Games as well as performance here with the rest of the squad.
First things first, Lee Sin's been banned too many times. He is the Lee Sin god. I would love to see Lee Sin. But if we move past that, if he gets banned once more, then I'd go towards J4 and Sejuani just because he's also a pretty damn good engager. And for how often they team fight, they need him to be on that.
Yeah, and you know, historically, one of the main champions Levi got known for as well was his Nocturne. Nocturne's been a great champion as well, paired up with Nico so many times where we've seen them go Nocturne ultimate. I have no idea where anyone is coming from. It is a normal minion.
Alright, folks up now, sorry.
Nico coming through.
Is that Croco from Sandbox?
Chaos and something that they've been doing as well.
You know, it's a great comp that's been coming up that
I don't think so.
far.
I think it's Croc, not Croco.
Cannon, TP, flank, those type of things that have torn teams
Freak
apart.
is so happy right now.
Yes, he's loving it, and I think that would be a great composition for them.
And I know there's a guy out there probably screaming about Wukong's Levi's most played champion as well. It's one of his signature, and it really is. But I'm doubtful at how well the Wukong's now going to perform. But I mean, Levi's still been willing to pick it after the nerfs, but I'm not hopeful of seeing it.
That's why I'm just intrigued, right? It's just when I do look at all 10 players on the Rift, it is Levi the one that I'm the most inclined to think would be willing to do something a bit out there, or a little bit different, a little bit against the grain, right?
Yeah.
Levi's never gone bit like super crazy.
He is Korean named Croc.
They are setting up on stage.
Yeah, he's different from Croco.
Earlier today, we were talking about how we really wanted to have like a little
Your
bit of
antenna looking crazy today? Well, how do I have another antenna?
Got a lot of time.
Bro, what is his hair doing?
GAM, I think we're on blue side, if I remember correctly, right? So, Loud being on red. In terms of the strategy, Loud on blue. Thank you for that one. Correction. Okay, so my notes are wrong here. In terms of like the approach to the draft then and players who want targets, who do you shut down? Yes, we are loading into draft. Let's go. So, Raz, Gulborg, it's all on you, boys.
All right, draft time.
Well, the Poppy's already coming through here, and I think that's a great ban. By seeing a Poppy ban, you also have to think about a Lee Sin.
Jax ban!
Well. And I think they've actually done a lot of research here. The Jax being banned away, that was one of my main win conditions with GAM, was just saying, hey, if Kia just blinds them, I don't see Robo winning a single matchup into it. So I think
Pick'ems are winning.
A lot of the right target.
Let's go
Pick'ems. First draft.
With Seos and Palette, I would expect Rakan to be a pretty high priority. Maokai ban is already a good one that's paired up well with Rakan. I don't expect it to be first pick, but I think GAM will look for a 1-2 on Rakan. It's just been so good so far. Zaya Rakan has been the standard, so I wondered...
Hysteric says, yo, you're on my speakers, my wife is sus.
I mean,
hello, Hysteric's wife.
For this to either be like a side ban, but if you ban side, then Lee Sin. I don't think Lee Sin will be blind pick, but I could
your husband is trash at Mario Kart. He is dog shit. He's ruining your account and your elo.
Target ban on Robo there, of course, we mentioned it earlier. He plays a lot of Olaf. But there's a lot of OPs open for you and available here. We've not seen too many games just yet, so it's hard to grasp really what makes or breaks these first picks.
The one thing
Renekton first pick.
Series, and this is obvious, like as old as League of Legends has been.
Robo Renekton.
High priority phase 1 in terms of the picks, but I am liking to see, or interested to see how this Orianna continues to develop throughout the rest of the series. And now GAM, where do they go? Like you mentioned, Lee Sin is open, Jarvan is open, Xayah is open.
I would expect something like a Kennen, maybe picked a little later on. Orianna has been the pick that we've seen a little bit dominate just yesterday.
Wait, let me check the Discord, see what the vote stats are. Pixels updates them.
Exactly, and it's moving up in priority. Earlier
the vote predictions are 1.4k people voted for Loud, 2.6k voted for GAM.
And it's a good setup for a ball delivery system for whatever Levi wants to pick. So just great overall follow-up engage. But to hit on the Renekton a little more, with Loud's priority around Rift Herald, that's just going to be my focus. I want to see what Robo is able to do in early Rift Herald fights with that.
Yeah, I really think that Xayah pickup was very important. Had you not picked Xayah, I'm expecting a Syndra to come through from Tinones here. They could have probably picked it with a Syndra Xayah rotation. Now you don't really have to look for that.
Come on, please. I need an Azir pick for my pick'ems. I don't know why I picked Azir. This is a horror.
Come through while you still have the availability of
LS said Brazil is winning planes. LS says Brazil's winning planes every year. I swear every time I see Brazil play, LS says let's go, like Brazil's gonna win.
Champion. And wonder or not, wonder whether
I don't think they're gonna win.
Seeing this Orianna Azir matchup a whole lot is something we would theorize.
I think they're gonna get smoked, but
has played as well.
We'll see.
Azir's fantastic.
BDS.
Xayah, so that's an expectation
I don't know. It depends how good GAM is. If GAM is a weak team, then maybe Loud can do damage. But I still think they've got PSG and BDS to beat. I feel like GAM is like level 3. You know. Let's see if they can beat GAM. If they win the series, then Loud is really good.
Counter the bot lane if you're looking for
Loud is really good.
You also have to make the cognizant decision now, saying
LS aka Loud supporter.
Do I want them on a carry right now? I don't think it has to be a priority, just because the jungle pool is still as big as it is, but the support pool will be slimmer and slimmer. So I think the Nautilus will be the best pick.
Disrespect against Nautilus. Yes, we need him to die.
Just taking a look at the first phase right now.
But I like Robo. The reason I like Robo is because of his name. If he pops off, it's Robo. And if he grieves, it's Robozo.
Or a pick being made by Rakan here for Seos. Like, I think putting the power into Root's hands is the way to go.
And listen, anybody who's watching from Brazil or anybody who's cheering for Loud is going to be ecstatic with these first 3 picks, because every single one of them is the #1 most played, one of the most successful for their respective players. The 2 they were missing is Poppy and LeBlanc. Poppy's been banned away.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting the LeBlanc to come in, but for Loud, this is pure comfort. It obviously works in the patch as well. And in phase 2, Sejuani once again finds herself in the ban pool. Loud are taking their time on their first ban.
What I'm afraid of for
we need Azir
is if Loud starts to pick a little bit more range, because you can already
see. But Azir is not great here. You know what could slap here? Nah, does it slap?
Orianna and Xayah's
does Tinones play Akali?
Range pool, so like I'm thinking Jace as a strong option for Tinones. If the option looks good as it goes into 4-5, then I would love it, and it makes their comp really strong around poke.
Alright, Nocturne ban coming through as well.
No.
I was really curious to see that Kazanza got banned. Most of the time, Renekton
does he play Syndra?
Matchup. He gains lane power, not to do much.
Talia, Syndra?
Just gets played for himself. He slowly but surely builds up a gold lead, but it also means that they are scared a bit of Kiai. Another champion that Kiai could play that's just straight up not a carry could be an Ornn here. We've seen it multiple times, and so many times these games as well have been dictated by the team fight. But no, it is actually going to be that respect paid to Levi. I was wondering if Croc was looking for it himself in case they would not 4th pick it, but for now, jungle pool still very wide and open. That J4, as we've talked about, is available, and it would actually be good for Croc just against Xayah.
Do something fun. I want Levi to do something. I'm expecting.
I thought Rumble was going to be most banned.
Ooh, you might get it.
I like the Rumble hover here, even though you have a lot of AP already within the composition. Pick up a Void Staff. That's a really good bully.
Do you think Levi runs at the jungle?
Come on.
I mean, I'm expecting that.
Orianna Rumble?
Yes.
If they last pick Jarvan, it's Psycho Land. Nocturne can work too, I guess.
Now we're going to find it from Loud how they're going to round out.
Okay, Azir is not great here, but let's pick Azir for the pick'ems. Come on. Tinones, hey, think about the pick'ems. Think about the pick'ems. Okay, don't fuck us up.
I mean, I would just be happy with a J4 Syndra rotation here. Like, J4's super good into side due to the fact that you can go for the combo with your EQ.
We need Syndra. We need Azir.
And when she then ults, well, you just ult her yourself, and then she's stuck in there. She does not have a dash. It's going to be a classic, though, from Tinones as well. As I said, they've played a lot of Nico, too. think Syndra could have been just as good.
Yeah, I think they kind of have to go Jarvan. But Jarvan is not great.
There's not too much merc trade value just yet.
Is Jarvan great?
Well, out of all the champions so far. And pairing this up with J4 gives you very scary team fighting.
It's funny. So in the first phase when we talked
I think
about
he will go
Nautilus,
Nocturne if he picks
going
Jarvan.
with the Rakan, yeah, great in isolation. But now you're looking at the comp as a whole.
He goes Viego.
Really tough for Nautilus to try and take fights into Nico and Rakan. If a fight were to happen, he's just. I know we talking about him as an int champion. That's going to be a lot of ints if the fight doesn't look great from the get-go. So Jarvan being
Nocturne's bend. Oh shit, I'm blind.
Talk to me about this Viego.
Why didn't they deny Jarvan then?
I mean, it's just
I feel like Jarvan or Orianna Rumble is absolute nutcase comp, isn't it? I'm surprised. I'm surprised they didn't deny it. I thought that they were in a circle of if we pick Jarvan, they go Nocturne, so we pick Viego, so they go Jarvan. Alright, you know what to do. If you want to avoid ads, you can sub with Prime or Tier 1. You don't have to, you won't miss anything. Okay, that's how it goes this stream. But if you want to avoid, you can. For the whole of Worlds, you can avoid all ads by doing that. But you don't have to, up to you. 3 buttons and you'll never get ads. Can we get Gamba? Yo, mods, can we get a Gamba? Mods, can we get a Gamba? Alright, Brazil, what you got for me? Ay, caralho.
Over the moon that we got a lot of time to introduce these teams to talk about the compositions. I've heard your predictions already. Now you've seen the draft. I'll give you an opportunity to change. Who wins game 1?
I actually think GAM is looking really good here.
Yeah!
So,
yeah, you do, huh?
Yeah, well, they got the Saya. I said that already Orbit with 10% of the win percentage. They have a Rumble. They get J4. They have.
Whoa, look at those boots on that guy. Damn, he's dripped as fuck.
So, as you're just gloating here, you happy with this as well?
Yes,
GAM,
I am.
Game
Thank
1?
you very much. I expected it. The draft makes it a little easier.
All right, that does it. Thank you so much. Thank you for your patience, everybody at home. We're about to jump over the costs. Oh, Dagdo, Ashin, give me a high five. Put your hands up. There we go.
GAM time.
Yes! Thank you so much, guys. Yeah.
Thank you for the subs. Once you press those buttons, you'll avoid ads. Wait, Pixel got timed out by Moobot.
The teams are locked and loaded, and we are kind of figuring themselves out, kind of seeing where these two teams
we'll do it
go
after
for.
the stream,
After
the game. Yo, Ram, thanks for the 5 gifted, much love.
And again, probably for the first time in a very long time, Loud are coming in as a pretty hot and pretty kind of favored in these things. But as they say on the desk, this draft is going to be difficult.
You just said you don't favor Loud.
No, I don't. I said most people do. I said the perception was, I prefer Graham. You will not twist my words.
Well, Loud already trying to see if they can get Kiaya here. Good sidestep.
Nice sidestep. A little bit of damage. Should be fine. No real CC. If you start with the CC on the Renekton at level 1, you're not going to have a fun time.
Yeah, also, I mean, with a minute just coming up onto the clock, they'll be fine to reset and come back in. So not a huge amount there, but also not a huge amount of investment.
Good movement on the Rakan W.
They'll get some vision control down on that
Very
top
good
side.
movement.
That's what with the red is going to happen if maybe Levi's going to try and go for some sort of early gank in towards the mid lane, but at the moment you're just going to be able to back away.
Check Croc's inventory. He has jungle item, big.
Bit of vision, a little bit of early warding as such, but outside of that, not really a lot else. I mean, just count your minions. That's all you got to do, Kati. Yeah, he's going to make sure he definitely now realizes, like, wait a minute. But I mean, look, it's funny. It's like a little mini game that you have, obviously, with the Nico, and we'll be keeping an eye on that for it. But obviously, coming into this game, I love what they have built up for themselves. Demacian Hot Pot is what I like to call it there.
Actually, don't mind Loud's draft too much. Bot matchup's a bit rough. Mid can get outrange, which is rough. Top is can be snowballing.
And honestly,
but their team fights are good. But GAM definitely has a stronger draft overall, I think. Better lanes.
Later, we'll get a little bit of a hit here, but Paladin to keep things in check. But honestly, I think you're setting up so nicely here for GAM. Like Root's going to struggle with that. Tin Owns going to struggle with that as well. Now, at least you do have a good amount of counter engaged, like from Tin Owns yourself. But hold on.
Level 2 does get hit. The Ignite goes down, but I feel like Slater really wanted to fully commit to that. Now they can fully turn back on.
Oh, Slater! Does he kill him though? I don't think he does.
Killed down. I think Root should be able to walk away. And that's going to be
holy, that's a huge 2v2 kill for Loud.
It felt like GAM could have had it, but Loud are the ones with first blood.
That was a huge 2v2 kill for Loud. Damn.
Slater wasn't really
hey, Loud is popping off.
I really want to go for this now. Slater does try and follow up with the flash himself, but no damage. Seos gets to kill himself, and Loud already on the board.
Seos getting himself that first blood, and that wave's in such a terrible position for GAM as well. It's really going to be difficult to kind of get that one back, but still advantage for Loud to get in the bot lane. And it all came from GAM being very, very aggressive. We'll see what they can use with that a little bit later on.
But I'm also keeping my eyes on the jungle.
Why does some dude in the chat say the 1-7 dream is still alive?
Right?
Bro, shut up.
Does go forward, great flash, great setup, but Slater not really in a position to follow up as he was trying to take the last CS. So Zeus goes in, you get the proc of the passive from Pallet, and it's good damage turnaround from Slater, but not enough left in the tank then to try and finish this out. So Root gets the walk out, just burning the pot. So you have both flashes now still on Loud. And look at where Croc is. He's already started to move back down towards his bot side. I think he's going to be looking for a gank.
Yeah, I 100% expect him to be able to do that, but so it'll be interesting to see now if you give the respect you need. GAM need to be very aware. This wave state is so painful. I mean, look at the CS. Yeah, like, I mean, and there's nothing they can do. They know they have to just stand backwards, because if they walk any way forward, it's a 2-level difference
it's not that
between
bad.
Croc and the bot lane.
Yeah, and Jarvan's already in the top side. He wants to look for a dive to see if he can counteract this play in the bot end.
Yeah, they're going to try and see if they can go for a full dive here.
Don't dive, Robo. Don't dive, Robo. Okay, good dive.
Good flash there by Kiaya. And they get themselves out on bot side.
What the fuck was that damage?
They will, unfortunately,
they had so much damage.
Bot, but at least they're making something else happen around the map.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
His flash to try and make that happen, though. Wasn't quite able to get there. Gets the cleanse out of Slater. But on the top side, as you said, like Levi, managing to follow that flash from Robo with his own flash, gets the kill and sets up nicely. So at least for GAM, they're still getting some pressure on the map.
A little bit of pressure, and keeping that Renekton down is always.
Xayah CS Keck. Can you see Xayah CS?
It's just clean, really nicely done there, waiting for as much
this
time
burst
as it
was nuts.
Yeah, Robo's trying to clear out the wave here. That's where he goes, and then flashes.
It was basically all Rumble.
Good reactions with his own flash to follow through on the flag and drag. And then we get the look of boss. Pallet hooks out. Slater gets knocked up, but you can see the cleanse comes through. He gets to walk out. Good.
What is my bro cleansing?
Anyway, so didn't really need to use that cleanse, but
don't look
way,
ADCS. Don't look.
To get away from that one on the bottom.
Yeah, see them now
oh, Robo.
Aggressive on that top side. I still a bit of damage here, but yeah, I was gonna say I don't think the Renekton really wants this one here.
Oh!
Flash forward, he gets overheated, he has enough.
Oh! Mannen.
GAM now. Croc trying to equalize it out. He flashes forward just to confirm it, and will be able to trade it back 2 for 2 on the board.
Tinone's now up here though as well, just to make sure they can try and catch that wave. But really nice job there from Kiaya now. Zeus, Palace, level advantage over towards Loud. Even Slater still level 2 on this spot and just ticks over to level 3. This wave finally crashing in means he'll be able to pick up a bit, but a lot of damage already done. You can see nearly 40 CS to 11 on the spot side.
Yeah, I mean, look, the featured matchup presented by Mercedes-Benz, it is still Robo and Kiaya, and I think right now Kiaya is having a much better time of it, so we'll see how that really affects the game, because the Rumble
how is Xayah so bad? Well, they lost 2v2 when they shouldn't. They're playing Northless into Rakan lane and they died 2v2, which is kind of bad.
Xayah, who's very much in control of this matchup, and if he can then lean that in towards the Rift Herald, that's going to be fantastic. But one of the big things that I've seen is kind of how GAM tend to fumble their first Rift Herald play. They'll try and
this Nico helicopter needs to shut the fuck up.
But he's oftentimes either, well, doesn't have his TP up and available, or is late on the reset, and Slater and Pallet then aren't in a position to try and go for that Rift Herald as well, and it gives the opportunity for the enemy team to set up, find kills, find opportunities. So especially if a team like Loud, where you know they're most threatening post 20 minutes, having those first 15 minutes confirmed in your direction are the
helicopter tech was banned in the LPL, but then it was unbanned in the LPL.
There it goes. First 6 minutes have been pretty equal. A little bit of an advantage there for Loud. Very much centralized into Rouge.
Well, GAM's winning lanes are winning, except for bots, which should be winning, but they fucked up the 2v2, so they're losing.
Taken out, but this is a game or a series that Loud will be feeling fairly confident in. It's a series they should be able to come out with a win and keep themselves in that upper bracket. That's the big thing right now, is that with the double elimination, you're not done and buried, but getting yourself that extra little life is so key.
And for Loud, it's going up against PSG Talon as well, who knocked them out of MSI, trying to see if they can find that rematch. But GAM, they're no pushovers here. Like, seriously, this has been a great early game for them. They've got good control. I mean, bot lane is definitely going to be an issue for them. It's just going to be a case of if Levi...
Yeah, Orianna lane is really nice because she outranges and she has flash up, so you just poke her down.
Like, we will take this dragon
Top is...
make sure we're able to set ourselves up for success, whereas GAM...
What is the number of Rumble E Magic Pen? What is it, 40%? What is the Magic Pen you get off Rumble E?
Just saying, look, we have massive pressure bot side, let's just get the dragon, start that stacking early.
I'm curious if they actually go for the dive on the top side here. Like, you can see that Levi's in position.
Yeah, 40%.
level 6 for Robo means it might be a bit difficult.
Yeah, 20% for lens.
I mean,
yeah, so if you hit both. So the
Hex
Hex Shrinker doesn't actually do too much. That's why, you know, Sork shoes, and you can see the range diff in mid. Like, it's so annoying.
Really been bot lane at all. He came bot just to kind of hover a little bit, but outside of that,
Bot is only losing because of items. Like, that Kai'Sa has serrated Dirk to obviously a Doran's Blade, so that's unplayable.
Unfortunately for Slater and Pallet, they're not really going to be able to kind of get much of a kill priority. I mean, serrated Dirk.
Yeah, Hex Shrinker Renekton is not going to be nice. I mean, I guess the good news is he's against double AP solo lanes, but the bad news is
he has a Hex Shrinker. Go for it. Even with the root coming out, it's still very much you know, LLL coming out on top.
Yeah, just about. It is a little bit more cautious because as that minion wave comes in, a lot of the damage is gone from the Q, so we'll have...
Flashing, get the W, and now we can see a bit of a move on the top side. The equalizer
Robo!
Not going to be utilized just yet. Kiaya knows he's dead. And that's just Katsi not really in position to help because Levi was on the Dragon, or sorry, on the Rift Herald. Now the Pop Blossom come out. They're going to get a flash out
really
from
bad.
the Orianna, and everyone's a little bit isolated. Do they get
Levy's
the Rift
out as
Herald?
well.
That's the
He didn't get
question.
the
Levi's
buff.
going to have to flash away. He'll get the kill onto the Rift Herald, but he won't be able to collect the die.
Big wins for Loud. Kill on the top side onto Kiai.
Let's go, Robo.
Moves over towards Robo. The kill on bot side coming through from Root as well. Like, Root has been so good at getting these solo kills in lane, and now once more picking up.
Brazil have a gold lead. Hey, whoa, hold on a second.
Really coming up trumps right now, getting that kill on the top.
Ay, caralho.
Disconnected efforts from the side of GAM. This one was just straight up Root saying,
Root with the solo bolo.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, I thought he might flash forward initially to try and get more Q isolated, but
Catty down.
Catty's gone.
Holy fuck, Root is just carrying.
Second kill has got an Umbral Glaive first item,
Okay, I got
so he is so powerful right now, and he is not wasting any time making people know about it.
Yeah, this is one of the big changes we've seen to the build path coming through from the Kai'Sa, where it's like, I'll go for the Umbral Glaive first, get serrated, get access to that Q evolve as well. But it's such an early spike.
2k gold lead.
As well,
this is really good.
It's such a cheap item that you can actually play very aggressive in lane. But I mean, Catty,
yeah, how did
just
Catty
not
die?
realizing Seus was there, tries to
Rakan the flash W.
Seus immediately flashing in. He knows the flash was already burnt in that Rift Herald fight, and Catty gets caught out for it.
Yeah, that was just a little bit unfortunate there, just not recognizing where everyone was on the map, and that's why you need to have tabs as much as you possibly can. But I mean, this bot lane advantage is just skyrocketing.
But the problem is that, like,
Bro,
the top
Loud
lane
is
advantage
legit.
GAM had, they couldn't really play through. Like, Croc did a good job of getting in there with Robo as GAM was trying to set up for the Rift Herald fights. And we said, hey, look, the big thing I want to focus on is how do GAM set up for their first Rift Herald? They fumble it here, they give the advantages to Loud, and now Loud are starting to slowly but surely gain more and more pressure off of that. So I think this is where Loud,
they can
as
still
long as
throw
they keep
this
up, are going to be in a good spot.
I don't know. I think who's Loud's best player? Is the Loud's best player Root? Is he the best? He's like their star.
Like deep vision here in the bot side jungle, although going to back off, it looks like, for the moment.
And as well as that, like, you know, just having the fact that Root goes the Umbral
Glaive, he's playing Kai'Sa, so he's not really too reliant on team. He can just should be fine to pull what he needs. He's not playing like Xayah, who's a lot more reliable on team setup. Kai'Sa can just solo play.
Jarvan trying to sneak into the side of the river. They're just not going to be able to get it.
Yeah, and it just, as you say, trying to control that bot side becomes a hell of a lot easier. But again, like you can see now, 2 kills to him, serrated Dirk completed, like, and you haven't even got, you got half an item completed towards Slater on the opposite side. Like, it is such an uneven fight. Like, Slater not only has his arms tied behind his back, he's probably got a foot at this stage as well. So for LLL, just try and continue to play around this bot side, bring Croc into the equation. Sales having that level 6 available can try and set up. Now, it will be tough. Ult for Xayah, flash for Xayah, cleanse. But if you can burn those before like Dragon in 50 seconds, that makes things 10 times easier for this next fight.
Absolutely.
Wasn't Croc in the LCK? No, that was Croco.
It's not as if GAM don't have ways back into it.
I don't know
like
if Croc was in the LCK.
It's going to be tough. You've got plenty of AoE, you've got plenty of wombo combo, but to be able to get it, and this is exactly what we were talking about. Root's just able to walk up, constantly clear out the vision.
Kai'Sa has Q evolved now, right?
A way of moving into this vision, and
yeah,
like, straight away, look at the damage, half his HP from a Q on an auto.
Yeah, Palada.
This Kai'Sa build is really strong if you can get rolling. A lot of people hate it, but I actually think if you can get ahead, wow, it's really strong.
Dragon as a spawns here. Like,
wait, Robo went first item more.
That you would like him to be, and maybe can try and follow up, but Levi's on top side. Vision control completely belongs to GAM on this bottom end of the map, and the support of Croc here for Seus at all points in time. How do you try and break this as GAM?
See if they can. Dragon does spawn as GAM now move their jungler and mid laner down towards this. They don't
There's a
priority,
ward
but it's going to be
in the
neutralized
alcove
now
for
with
LLL that they can play on.
Nico just kind of keeping things going, but I mean, yeah,
they have
like
so many wards to play on. Holy
damage
shit!
Profile available for Loud at the moment is just insane. Even having that Triforce is available to them as well just makes it so much harder. And yeah, you don't have any way of stopping this stack. And this is the thing as well. You started the stack so early, 7 minutes. You get the next one basically off.
I think LLL should set up. Loud should set up for a bot dive
24-minute
or a bot zone at least.
You know, an Ocean Soul is nothing to be
nice sweeper.
Yeah, I mean, Croc has just been able to sneak in here.
Ocean Soul.
Now going to be able to pick up the blue buff basically in the face of Levi as well, because Sales.
Good dive. Slater goes trying to try and get this one going there. The feathers go flying. They've used nothing. They used literally a battle
Let's
dance
go.
And that was it.
We're in the fucking. We're in, boys. We're in. Now we need 5 dragons to go down.
For Loud.
And you can kind of tell, look, GAM feel like their backs are against the wall. Immediately the TP comes down to bot side to try and prevent it, but Loud never overextended. They don't use Saeos' ult. You get pushing mid now to get a plate for Tin Owns as well. And this is the slow, calculated style that Loud tried to go for.
You do it again.
Yeah.
You just go for it again.
The cleanse is there this time, though, with the flash, so maybe a bit difficult.
Oh, nice ult.
They're going to try and come in as a Croc, who does have to Heartbreaker himself out.
Volta's ulting Knight down now. That's so good.
Ultimate was committed, but yeah, I mean, look, they're using so much just to keep Slater in this game.
You do need to be careful in this scenario, though, as Loud, because you don't really have a tanky member. Like, Croc isn't tanky, Saeos isn't tanky, so if you go underneath that tower,
paid Ocean Dragon, yeah, it does paid
there,
actually.
You're going to know about it very, very quickly. So I do like that they just kind of backed up.
Ah,
there.
Robo gets more, and then he farms. What? Root is fucking he's crashing. What?
That's 2 solo kills.
Yeah.
For the AD carry.
He's destroying this guy.
This game functions. You're supposed to at least put a shield.
Slater is getting absolutely gapped.
This is insane from Root. He is popping off in the early stages, and I mean, you heard the desk.
Holy
right?
fuck.
Once Root's in a good spot, it's going to be fantastic. And right now, he is looking sublime.
And the great thing about it as well is that Loud are kind of working
who is
around
Slater?
him
He's
and
getting
working around the
destroyed.
kind of win condition that he has presented as we kind of look at the MasterCard lane economy snapshot. And yeah, I mean, 2100 is just an insane number to be hit. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that's insane. He is the goal.
Robo gets more
like,
on blue side, so he can farm Grump, which does magic damage, and he can tank it a lot easier on cooldown.
Robo's just kind of said, all right, cool, well, I'm not the carry. All I have to do is survive. Marble straight away. I'm not going to be in team fights. We're not looking to team fight right now, so I'm not worried about having that big gore drinker for those big fights.
Yeah, it's just absolutely absurd. And again, what do you try and respond with his GAM? Like, we've had Levi try and get into different positions, but top lane fell apart.
Wait, is Slater part of the main roster? He's not a sub, right?
Hasn't really tried to get into mid lane, which I thought maybe was an option, but realistically, Saeos has kind of been beaten to the punch in that position, and he's been kicked out of his bot side. So trying to find angles of attack into mid lane just isn't really happening right now.
No, it is not. The one thing I will say that's going in GAM's favor for now is that it's a very low attack range in terms of actually sieging
Slater
down
Palette
turret.
is the strongest spot in their region.
Difficult for the side of Loud. It will take multiple kills for them to be able to do it, but I mean, this is just a really smart little bit of play. It's like, if I land the W, we go in. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, immediately the damage comes down, and again, this is the strength of this new
Clean
build.
kill.
You get so much lethality early, you get so much damage early, and the Loud fans very happy to see that.
Holy fuck.
Through.
Loud fans in Low Park.
Strong, they're looking confident
Damn.
right now, and they're looking like a team who's ready to kind of put the pressure down.
They're a team that looks like they want that rematch against PSG Talon. Like, this is a team
Holy
that got
Kai'Sa.
knocked out against
Duskblade,
MSI.
let's go.
I mean, even Croc,
The forbidden
has
build.
been playing under the name Son of Junja in Portuguese over in CBLOL. Like, PSG Talon have been living in these guys' heads. So for this is a, we want our revenge. We want to go up against PSG Talon and knock them out at Worlds and take that spot in the group stage.
Have a bit of to go for it, of course. Double elimination.
We need Nautilus to die a bit more.
This, you get yourself an opportunity to get yourself towards that final match, the qualification match, of course. And of course, we see it from the other side as well tomorrow. But this first group is definitely starting to heat up just a little bit. And look, for GAM, expectations for the VCS, they were kind of the second tier of teams. They were always kind of touted as this team that we would, or this region that would always be able to kind of bounce back. Yes, it was a very unfortunate time where they couldn't really go to internationals, but we always kind of said that they would be able to do it. Right now, they are very firmly on the back foot, nearly 3,500 gold down.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been the aggression that we always talk about from Vietnam. It's just been unfortunate that, I mean, Saeos and Root got a good control of that bot lane early. despite the fact Kiaya was able to get control over top side, that was kind of turned around by Croc. So I think GAM want to try and find these big team fights now where maybe they can lock down Root and Tin Owens, get that ultimate combo off with Levi, Kiaya and Catty. That's kind of their big way back into this, but it needs to
You put GAM in A tier? No, I didn't. I didn't do the play-in teams in my tier list.
But it means that he left that top lane pretty much for free. Now, Pallet having to lose his flash because he's just not in a position
What are you talking about?
Like that. And little by little, bit by bit, Loud are just wrestling back control. They're not letting the side of GAM have a foothold.
Yeah, and you talk about, look, in a team fight, yes,
this chat makes me paranoid. You say that I do things that I never did, and I'm like, wait, did I? And then you gaslight me into believing I did.
Well, like, there's a lot of damage that can come through quite quickly here, so you do have to be very, very careful. As now Ripshard in mid lane sets up for the push,
so annoying.
Sets up for the control again, going in Loud's favor on that bot side jungle, and they rotate back towards the dragon. And I mean, you're a complete item down for Slater. You can't compete in these team fights if you can't get the wombo off.
And Robbo does exactly what Robbo needs to do.
Analyst of the year.
It's fine. We're going to back away. We get a tower, we get a dragon. There's nothing to do
yes,
really
that's the first Ocean Dragon, baby. Stack it up for the pick'ems.
It was an equal trade in their sense for the towers, but now you are on Ocean Soul Point at 18 minutes. That is a 23 Ocean Soul fight that you have to go for as GAM. If you let this Renekton Viego combination get themselves an Ocean Soul, they're never dying.
And in my professional opinion, Oshin, that sucks.
Yeah.
It's an awful place to be.
Is that the technical term, is it? Yeah. The legal term.
It's a bit of a whoopsie, as we say in the business. But
big oof, if you do want to say it. Like.
But it's also like, you got Root now, so basically the way this build works is you now go up towards the Nashor's Tooth, so you end up in...
Nashor's, you get WE evolve, big.
damage into your build as well, a lot of that attack speed, and you're just in such a good spot. Like, this is so incredibly hard to try and operate.
I don't know, this Kaisa is absolutely off the rails.
Yes, this build kind of does play off of lethality.
We need GAM to steal a few dragons.
I mean, it's not even 20 minutes into the game. He's 2.5, 3 kills.
Good night, sweet prince.
Yeah,
oh, maybe not.
Flash has to do like Kiaya, but he gets caught out anyway, and they go straight in with the assassination.
Where is bro? He got the cannon! Hey! He got the cannon!
Not really a lot else going for them. And
Woo!
Loud looking good right now. Really starting to put down a serious performance.
I mean... Oh no, Slater, no.
He's going to lose his cleanse, won't lose anything else, but I mean, that's already just walking to the lane in arguably the safest position.
Wow, they were gapping solo lanes, but bot got absolutely smoked.
And he still lost something.
Look, the only place that's safe for GAM is their own base, and Robo's just ignoring them.
They use the TP on the tower that's going down. Why are you doing this, GAM? You can't
What
fight
is
that.
GAM doing? They are
the
griefing and they are bronze.
Wait,
Loud is just destroying them.
It's just win after win after win for Loud.
Let's go Loud!
Solid.
What the fuck?
Belongs to them. Turret gone, jungle gone. I mean, Baron is up in 10 seconds, and honestly, that might be gone. Yeah. But this is super nice, right? Again, Robo is like, hey, I've got this Maw. I can just ignore the damage from Kiaya. Kiaya is forced to flash, but they know that Root's in a position to just follow up here. And again, like, look at the vision control that is in the jungle right now. There's so little.
Damn, I can't wait to see Loud versus BDS.
No, hey, look, we actually have spotted Jarvan is starting to move to bot side. We can try and go for this play here. We own the top half of the jungle, so we know exactly what we're up against. Kill the tower, use the demolish, and there's just no thing that GAM can do in this scenario.
It's just little small mistakes from GAM as well. The TP coming in on an already dead turret, it just feels like it's just compounding it.
And you know what the terrifying thing is? This is the part of the game that Loud are better at. The post 20-minute mark is when they come alive, and Caddy is feeling it.
Caddy is feeling it. He's feeling the pressure as well. Double knockup comes in.
Oh, double root.
They get the
it's over. They get
down.
Nash.
Levi forced to flash away. That's a TP coming in from the Rumble just to run away because he realizes he has no business being here. You have no reason to ever take these fights. And Loud are looking to put a serious marker down. They are coming for PSG.
Oh, the winner of this plays PSG.
Damn, you do not want to be in these scenarios.
I want to see BDS first then.
Going to be able to walk away from that one,
Maybe
but he said it. Baron spawns. Loud is saying, hey, that looks nice and pretty. Well, let's go and take it.
I picked GAM in the Discord prediction. It's fine. It's a best of 3. You're not out yet. Is Loud going to be the fastest game of the tournament?
Yeah,
nah, they're not going to end until about 23, 24 minutes.
Just have to say yes.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll be the fastest.
Away from their base. Like, that mid lane turret is holding on with a struggle. Because the second you step up, you're going to have so many different flank opportunities that come in behind them. And here again, like, GAM are all kind of set up to go, hey, we can try and keep this safe. But Catty separates for a second. Croc takes his chance. Pallet
Really nice play by Sales.
There might be a flash over the wall.
Sales really smurfing.
It, but ends up meaning that he doesn't have his hook up and available. And then again, Loud.
Sales is really good at this game, I think.
Better position. Slater not really there because he's trying to clear a mid-wave. And Loud are able to follow up nice and easy.
And this has just started from the get-go by Loud. This is Loud turned around and said, bot lane is our priority as they come out with the Red Bull Baron power play, but bot lane is their priority. Root is their carry, and this guy is doing so well with giving that responsibility.
I mean, this game is sheer bot lane diff.
Yeah.
2.4k damage on Orianna.
As wrong as it did for Slater and Pallet, gave the freeze. Croc was in a position to just continue letting
nice loss to this.
Root getting
Shut up.
Kills in the bot lane as well.
You guys are horrible.
It has not been a good look coming through for the GAM bot lane.
Now you have 30 seconds for GAM to kind of fight against this Ocean Soul. Now I will say it's one of the souls that people tend to kind of go, look, we don't have to fight it, but I mean, you gotta go for something here. Like, you're looking at a 3-item Kaisa here for Root. He has just been insane right now. 3-0 and 5. Just a monster in his own right. Level 14, like, he's the same level as Kiai in the top five. He's the same level as a solo laner.
Yeah, I mean, the kills and assists will do that for you. And Loud, they kind of know that they're in a great position. Siege up here on bot side, they have a lot of opportunities to try and escape away. Like Sales, very difficult to lock down. Croc, because the ultimate, kind of difficult to lock down. So they're just going to let Tin Owns push in mid. And I thought he was going to look for the mid turret, but looks like they want to try and take a fight as GAM are a bit far away from safety.
Yeah, GAM will not have many places to run if they do get caught, and you can see there.
Look, 80 items.
Recognizing that and just kind of throws a hook away. I mean,
when's the giveaway starting?
TP back into the
probably
fight is going to be
after this game, but the
side.
giveaway
So
will last all of Worlds.
Flank, they do get a hook on, but it's only onto Seos, so the Rakan's going to be able to walk away. Doesn't even use any of his cooldowns. They're looking for something. They're waiting for something, but that something is just not going to happen. And now they're getting turned on because they realize they've overstepped. Robo's on a flank, and they can start to pinch in. The equalizer comes down to try and stop anyone from moving in. But
Robo. Oh, Tin Owns.
Tin Owns signs the death warrant here with the ultimate. Loud get
the most important thing there is that Nautilus died.
This game is all but over.
Tin Owns goes kaboom and shuts out GAM in this one.
Tin Owns goes kaboom.
On bot side is
that was a good one.
The death knell coming through as Seos just being a nuisance, just being annoying as they will continue to push forward.
Continuing the push, they'll get it on all lanes. They might not end the game just yet, but they've still got Baron for 10 seconds. They are going to do some serious damage right now. They'll get themselves at least 2 inhibitors, and honestly, they can go back, reset, spend all the gold, put your T's down, dot your I's. You've got all the time in the world, and you have all the advantages as well.
Yeah, they can't end still, though.
There's just nothing left for you here, GAM. I'm sorry for you, but when the early game goes this disastrously on bot lane, when Croc's able to correct the lane and
let's get another death for the Nautilus, come on.
Zero that can be done.
For the pick'ems. Come on, Brazil.
Jungle will go with it as well. It's only a matter of time until Loud coordinate themselves on top side, but this was brilliant. Like, Robo end up in a position where he's able to get the flank.
Come on, Brazil.
Corralling GAM into a perfect position. Levi overextends, trying to see if he can get a steal, but isn't in a position. Robo over the wall into Panic, but watch Tin Owns. Out of vision. Nobody knows as Tin Owns goes in.
Nobody knows.
Beautifully.
How are they going to know? They're going to know.
Just Robo again, who's part of our, Mercedes-Benz featured matchup, is that he just goes in going, I have a stopwatch. It doesn't matter if they all
Jankos not at Worlds really hurts Vietnam's chances. What? How is Jankos catching strays?
I mean, yeah, look. Root's having an absolutely exceptional game, and even has a stopwatch as well to keep him from dying, should he even ever get caught.
Yeah, I mean, this is
You're horrible.
Having a moment for himself on the world stage. Looks absolutely spectacular, and kind of showing what a lot of people were unsure of was like, how can Loud have these strong early games? Like, can they do it on an international stage? And this is a resounding voice from the Loud crowd. This is absolutely incredible to see.
Loud crowd, and that's the thing as well. We always come in. Oh, to say that we see Seos might be getting caught out here. They're looking for a hex flash over the wall from the Nautilus, but have to hold there for a second or two. Everyone just kind of walks away. Didn't have the timing on that, unfortunately. But that's the thing. Like, we look domestically. We look at how Loud have really come out and kind of dominated Brazil, and it does feel like it kind of gets a little bit of a, kind of a bit of an echo chamber. You're not quite sure how they stack up, but this particular display of dominance is showing us just how good they are, and it just feels like right now we are coming at this team from such an incredible point of power, and They are feeling good.
And they can't force in this wave.
Reds feel a lot better as they're going to go under here.
He's going to
Oh,
go
they're
in,
trying.
but they've actually been able to catch out Croc, and he's not gone down just yet. Now he has.
Croc's down.
Robbo does have a GA, but he wouldn't like to use it just yet. It's Maul gets used, and there's going to be an equalizer to try to stop them all. They get the knock up here, double down. The Feathers come in, and Root picks up a kill. Hulk comes out, Root shoots.
Oh, it's a penta, it's a penta, it's a penta, it's a penta.
For the Kai'Sa, looking for a little bit more as well. Not quite able to get the last few auto attacks there onto the Xayah, but will turn and burn.
It's a penta. Get it for the pick'ems, for the pick'ems. Yo, the pick'ems. The pick'ems, the pick'ems. Come on, dive, dive, dive.
He's got a couple more seconds. They're looking for it. They got the inhibitors down. They got the next.
The pick'ems.
Finally, here they go. There's Slater with the stopwatch.
Go, go, go.
Finally, they go in under the turret. And it's going to be.
Yeah! Let's go.
What
The pick'ems.
enter the world stage, a pentakill.
Holy fuck.
Root to kick us off on the play-in stage. Pick'ems better be able to be changed because we're just setting up beautifully for it.
Your pick'ems are locked and loaded, but my God, Loud are just getting started. What?
You chose Roots for the penta? Who did I choose? Who did I choose for the penta?
#1 seed. I mean,
Who did I choose?
but just exceptional. That was just exceptional from minute one. They never faltered. They never gave GAM an opportunity.
I chose
and
Ruler.
I mean, if
Fuck!
I'm GAM, like, I mean, what were you gonna do? There was no opportunities.
I mean, this is like the best representative we've had from CBLOL for a while. Like 3 back-to-back title wins for this team. The first ever in CBLOL history.
Wait, I need to go full screen cam 1 second.
Matching BRTT for most titles ever. This is a team that is decorated to the nines. And then you come out as well with a performance like that. That was incredible to watch.
Just a joy, genuinely a joy to kind of go for it. But I mean, Loud, I nothing but praise. And you know what, Goldberg, I'm sorry I doubted you because, like, my God, yeah, no, he didn't. You know what, it's fine. Thanks, but whatever. You know, again, it's just exceptional. It's so much to be said. Enough from us, though. We're going to send it back over to the analyst desk to say even more about this exceptional LOL.
That's right.
Yesterday. What are you saying? What are you saying?
Wait, hold
What
on,
are you
hold on.
saying? Hang on,
Do
go on
not
then.
apologize to him because he said GAM was going to win game 1.
Okay, chat, are you ready for the giveaway?
Say that, he said that, but the question was, who won the draft? I think GAM had the better draft. League of Legends is about gameplay, and the best gameplay on this first game was Loud.
Stop.
Disgraceful.
Let's get rid of the casters. Thank you very much.
Get out of here.
Fantastic cast.
Astro giveaway.
I apologize about that chaos, and I will once again reiterate. While Gulborg, the analyst, predicted Loud to win the series, he predicted GAM to win game 1. And if we can take a look
just
at
make
the
up stories.
at the picks and bands graphic.
Ready?
PGP, great. The team comps will come up here perfectly. I have a question for my incorrect predicting analyst Gulborg.
Go on then.
If GAM cannot win with this composition, can they even win a game?
I mean, absolutely. They still can. I think this was probably just something where it went a bit wrong in the early game.
Check the link. Check the link.
Your question, them getting this draft and fumbling it this much.
Check the link.
I mean, it should never really happen. And like even
World's giveaway.
Ahead, he made Ropo's lane completely unplayable. Like
You can win.
Should have just been able to be left alone. Now Levi
You can win.
focus on mid
Wait,
and
we'll do it
bot
after
lane.
the
You know what
analyst test
problem was?
segment. But the link's there.
Isolated mid and bot lane could not function against their opponents. It just collapsed from laning phase and just never worked out for them.
I have a problem.
Yeah. You do.
Look, at least
The link is there.
With you were a coward, okay? You didn't admit that you were wrong. Me?
Caedrel Worlds
This is a
giveaway.
Flip-flopping. I just, in general,
Wait, I'll show you
I
after.
think Loud's playing too well. I think Root is just taking over. I'm a bit ashamed of
Wait,
myself.
I need to update the Moobot.
Let's zoom out. Okay, we've had a lot of fun. It was an entertaining game. I want to now focus in on the team. So we've made fun of all the other teams. Let's focus on the fact that bottom lane, I mean, Root.
If you don't use Twitter, it's fine. You can enter in different ways.
Absolutely incredible. And I think this is unfair, so please do understand where I'm coming from. But GAM had struggles in MSI, weren't able to really get over some of the challenges in the bottom lane. That was one of the big changes. We talked about the substitutions that even happened this summer, right? And after a game like that, where you see Rout literally 1v basically 9ing in many situations, it's got to be difficult, heartbreaking.
And this is where I will admit I was wrong. Because I actually thought that Rout had poor laning phase at times in playoffs.
Are we good?
That Slater's laning was actually quite good, but it was
Okay,
never
we're
just
good.
facilitated. That was completely.
I'll show you after this.
game.
I don't want to
Loud
block the
and
desk.
Sales
I don't
was
want
just
to block the
straight
analyst
up
desk, so I'll show
better.
you
And
after.
the bot lane of GAM just had issues where they could not function, so huge credit to Raud. Solo kills on the Kaiser just by landing W's coming in. We saw the lethality build. I'm not always happy about the lethality build. This is one of the ones where it works, and you can see why it works, especially when you snowball as early as you do.
Rez, I want you to talk a little bit more about what Kulbo just said, because after every
The website works. The website works.
Roots Kaiser secures himself
Oh shit! I put 17 prizes in the title. Oh my god, I griefed it. Can I edit the tweet?
He was very volatile before this as well. So
Edit
he
post
found an
big.
angle. That W flash was perfect to be able to get that kill too. And so didn't happen just once.
Okay, I edited it.
It happened twice.
I put 17 by accident.
Yeah, I know we focused a lot on. Just want to see this one more time because it was just that good.
I put 17 by accident.
Didn't even have the opportunity. Could have flashed a little earlier, but he didn't expect
I
the
mean, listen,
damage.
he was playing with his hands and 1 foot tied behind his back. Dagda saw it. Like, that's how he was playing the game, you know?
I also think it just comes down to the rune optimization there. You can easily see how many autos come through with the...
That's pretty impressive.
You're going to continue?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Okay, well, you continue doing that. But Hairblades getting those 3 auto attacks in really quickly, where we're so used to see lethal tempo for so many for Kaisers instead. Also just completely surprised later with the lethality damage.
One thing that we all focused on pretty heavily is the fact that he did this within the lane, but then he transitioned that mid lane.
Absolutely.
During one of the replays of that kill that he ended up having, he went straight through mid.
The website's down.
Killed Orianna. I was like, okay, I guess he's just transitioning this and taking over the map.
I also really like the lethality build.
I think it's because there's too many people going to the website.
Like, look at the team comp. Look, you know, there's no front line. There's nothing to really worry about. And look, 11-0-5.
Stop spam opening the website.
46% of his team's damage. 46%. Yeah. And the pentakill right at the end as well in our second
I think if you refresh it should work.
23.
No, that's crazy, and that's a standout performance that really speaks to itself there, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, there's instances where you have to kill a tank. This was not one of them. This was one of them where you could just take over. Even getting a pentakill at the end, which I think was very deserved for him too. Amazing performance from Raud, and it was a stomp coming out from Loud.
I've got one more.
You got 9 out of 9 entries. Big.
Round out this game before we look ahead. Let's take a look at those late game team fights. The game was over well before this, and it was unlosable was the phrase that I was
trying to sit in here and make some calls out for what I think should be done in the gameplay right here, and Loud was just so ahead that they could skip so many of the steps. Even going for this tier 2 could have been dangerous, or they could have just traded with the Orianna continuing.
I'm trying to make sure it all works. I'm trying to make sure it all works.
GAM is really welcoming a lot of the late game team fights where they feel like there's nothing.
It looks like it works. There's just a lot of people right now.
Get back into it, and we're playing against the laners of Loud, who's already so far ahead. There's nothing you can do to get back into it. Loud had problems with macro at CBLOL when they were playing playoffs. This was not one of the game where it happened.
Can one of the mods wait, I'll pin it. Wait, I'll pin it.
20 minutes. They're a team that didn't necessarily have this dominant of a laning phase.
TikTok's banned in my country. Wait, TikTok's banned in your country?
They came straight out the gate swinging.
You know, at 20 minutes they were up 4-5k. Well, Roots was up 4-5k. The rest of the team was pretty much even. But just the way they play laning phase, the way they transition, it was beautiful to see. I want to move on from game 1. We've only got a couple minutes left. GAM have selected. Oh, we only have 30 seconds.
What country is TikTok banned in?
I apologize. We'll get back to the next one. As we head towards game 2, let's enjoy the view of our play-ins host City Soul through the lens of the upper game. I'm sorry, right?
India, really?
You don't talk. You will come in.
I ran out of time. Anyways, goodbye. We'll see you on the
This is a jammer. Oh fuck, I forgot to tag the giveaway. Shit!
I feel like Slater really wanted to fully commit to that. Now they can fully turn back on. Hello, Slater!
We wait Brack or we
I think we just wait to know. You guys doing? We can go. Oh, nice.
Going a bit aggressive on that top side. Still a bit of damage here, but yeah, I was going to say, I don't think the Renekton really wants this one here. And a flash forward, he gets overheated, he has enough damage!
Okay, fixed. Fixed. Alright, listen up, you little fucks. Here's the Worlds giveaway. Okay, here's the rundown. Quick Worlds giveaway rundown. It's simple. You can win loads of prizes. From displays on the Steam gift cards, fucking Steel Series packages, Korea Asia Games jerseys, a PC. Okay? You go to this website, and then you just follow the steps. And you get a point for everything you do. If you can't do one, I'm sorry. For everything you do, you get a point. And if you put all 7 or 8 points, then you have 8 entries, okay? And then that gives you the highest chance. This is the best way to do a big giveaway, okay? That's all I can do. Bro doesn't follow himself. Bro, shut up. And that's the giveaway.
You add perks like the Disney bundle. It's your Verizon.
You entered yourself? Yeah, I was testing it. I had to make sure it worked. A lot of people are banned in the Discord? Really? What? What happened? How are a lot of people banned in the Discord? What happened in the Discord? You got banned?
Red Bull gives you wings.
Who's getting banned in the Discord? What are you degenerates doing? No one's in banned unless they broke a rule. Okay, okay. Alright. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick in the break. I go bathroom quick. BRB 1 sec, I go bathroom. Hey, is that Ari? BRB 1 sec. Big pace. Big pace.
Sweet like sugar, I bet you like that.
Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, there's a lot of people joining the Discord. Make sure you make sure you read the rules. Make sure you read the rules of the Discord. Okay? Don't fucking be a degenerate in the Discord. Otherwise you'll just get banned. Otherwise you just get banned.
Back one and all to Worlds 2023. We're having a little bit of a dance there in the break music. The song's been sick.
Yeah, I mean,
so good.
Let's be real. Louder having a bit of a song and dance after that one as well.
They would want to be. They would want to be.
Impressive as all hell. Like, very, very cool to see what the CBLOL is bringing to the world stage right now. Like, Pentakill, game 1, day 1. Not often you get to see that.
Multiple solo kills for the AD carry. Like, Root was just the catalyst of everything, and he did not disappoint. And I really do feel like
pin the website in the predictions channel.
For GAM in the second
Pin the
game.
website.
I mean, what is like? Oh, I guess we either got to pick.
Oh, the retweet thing is not working because I edited the tweet.
Actually, that's wrong.
Yeah.
But look, it kind of also came back to.
Yeah, let me fix that.
Like the level 1, level 2 went so disastrous for them, they just couldn't recover.
Let me fix that.
Let me fix that. Got to see Root pop off.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that was the big thing as well. So that level 1, level 2.
I updated it. I
got
updated
the
it.
damage there onto Root, and in fairness, they were so close on the side of GAM to make it work for themselves, but then it goes the opposite way. They lose all their summoners, they don't gain the kill for it, and it just all kind of snowballed from there. We are going to have a switcheroo on the sides. It is going to be GAM on the blue with Loud on the red. And we're going to start to see a couple of these things now, and it looks like Tinones just does not want to deal with the Tristan at all. He wants to get rid of that 100% of the time.
All right, Brazil.
That much priority onto getting that away. Definitely something that's fallen off as of late, but we'll have to see exactly what the game plan is. Jack's going to be taken away from Kia as well, which I still think is a good call. And honestly, we're seeing very, very similar stuff to what we saw in the last game. It hasn't been too different or too dissimilar from game number 1, apart from the side selection. All right.
Let's see what they want to go for right now. The Olaf, obviously, can be a bit of one. We don't have Adam right now, but we'll see him later on in the tournament, especially with maybe may have a little bit more of that one there. But the Nico being taken away by Tinones again.
Jack Span.
Everything, but he definitely was a facilitator in the whole thing.
Gleam is bugged.
Feels like it's still super strong.
Yeah, it definitely is, and I think, like as we said, control mages kind of tend to be the ones on top in the mid lane at the moment. So Nico, your Oriana,
it should work. Did it work for you guys?
Chat,
well, did it work for you or not?
Tinones, I'm a massive fan of that pick. Even represented him in one of the old CBLOL videos as well. Like, this is a guy that loves that pick, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it brought out over the course of Led's tenure here.
Okay, for some people it's working, for some people it's not.
We'll see.
I guess the best thing to do is just
a little bit of a swap up in that top side. Kia taking himself the
keep
Renekton.
trying.
I still think the Renekton is such an exceptionally powerful pick. It can be so easily blind pick it because we've seen it. Just again, even when you pick the Rumble and stuff into it, it still can scale. It can still become that mid-game monster.
Okay, they first picked the Renekton away.
Not a lot of great answers.
Let's focus on the game now.
Yeah,
let's focus on the game.
That's kind of what the biggest problem is. Like, we've seen things from like BB and stuff like that, like bringing out the Swain and those kind of things to try and have an answer into it. But I don't think we'll see Robo go towards something like that. Could be potentially an Aatrox or something.
Wait, Joe Marsh is here.
We'll have to see exactly.
He says we banned Caedrel from going into Faker stream room when he stays at T1. Yo!
Do we get the Oriana?
What do you mean?
Are we just gonna swap?
Wait, whose room do I get? Whose room can I use?
Quite possibly right now. I do feel
like
whose
room can I use, Joe?
Go for the Oriana themselves. They could also pick up the Rakan. Did exceptionally well in that last game for Seos. He was really proactive on it, and it does feel like it is the premier.
Can I get Zeus's?
At least in my eyes, in the first few games we've seen so far this
so I can like smell the air that he was in.
At the moment, yeah. It looks like it would be the Kron because I felt like
Bobies.
The game was so.
They sent you the room. Look at your email. Oh shit! Sorry, I'm streaming. Yeah, I'll check it.
From either team. So when you look towards, hey, maybe we want to take a jungle because we want to get a good jungle matchup, it's like we saw the damage that was done by the junglers, like less than 4k on either side. Like, they weren't a big factor. So
damn,
it's kind of a bit difficult to take things away.
Wait,
from
whose room is that?
On the other side, but looks like GAM going to go towards a much more aggressive play. So taking the Rel, taking the Kai'Sa. Rel can still swap into the jungle, but definitely, hey, we want to go forward. We want to try and take those fights.
Yo, shut up. Kind
of good answers from Loud at the moment. Zaya able to peel for herself. Now an Oriana going to come through as well. Like, this is still dangerous territory here for GAM.
I'm loving the smiles we're seeing from the Loud players as well. You can see them there kind of going, yeah, this looks good.
It's
this
similar draft, no?
Now. And they know, again, it's a great ball delivery system for
they just took away Rakan
as well. With the Rakan, he goes straight in on top of people, charms them up so they can't just get away straight away. You get that nice little animation out of the way from the shockwave.
You have to ask them what city it is. Then I can tell you which guy's room it is. Okay, I'll figure that out and ask you. Thanks again, Joe. Everyone at Joe and say Pog. He's gonna let us stream from T1 offices, which is insane.
That's not taken away. Neither side has actually selected a jungler just yet, but Led will have first rotation on that. So I'm curious exactly what they want to try and go for.
Syndra ban. No! Actually, no, that's good. We need Azir. I love it how all the pick ban is now just about pick'ems. That's all I'm caring about.
Yep, well, there's the Rumble being
all I'm caring about is
pick'ems. I wouldn't be surprised to maybe see a Cassante banned away here by the side of GAM if they really want to try and focus in on that. Or if they don't see it as a big of a problem, they could maybe ban away the Jarvan themselves.
Be a Jax ban as well coming through.
Jax already banned.
Oh, true. Yeah,
Jax is already banned.
So that's kind of like where my head's at.
Maybe we will even make a Caedrel coffee drink at our next cafe HQ. At our cafe. A Caedrel coffee drink? You're gonna.
Not sure if he really wants
Maybe
to
we'll make a Caedrel coffee drink at our cafe next to headquarters. Bro, a Caedrel coffee drink, yeah, it just has like, says like big pace on it, or it has like a rat emote on the front.
Could be an angle to go towards a Darius.
Yeah, well, there's the Jarvan, so that's not going to be
washed up coffee. Okay, shut.
For them, so Jarvan and Rumble not going to be the combos in. I will say both of those picks on this comp for Lau could have been huge, but maybe we see our first Lee Sin of the tournament because
washed up coffee.
This carry jungler definitely looking towards Swiss stage. There's a lot of junglers itching to get their hands on this pick.
I think a lot of junglers just itching to get Lee Sin back at all. Like basically, he struggled to clear so hard on those.
You ask for the order and it gets cancelled. Okay, this chat is so dumb.
Wow,
Cassante Renekton.
Kind of back to where he's in a decent spot, and there's a lot of picks you'd like to go for with that champion, but not going to be seeing it just yet. Instead, just going to be bog standard Cassante taking into that top side for Robo. So will be that counter pick in the jungle.
Azir, so please pick Azir. I don't know if it's. I don't think it's. I mean, it's fine here, but like we need it for the pick'em, so we're getting desperate here.
Well. A lot of pros do think
for fuck's sakes, man. The Azir is rough.
Available to him in terms of his kit that it becomes a bit more 50-50 than most people think. And then we get the Ahri locked in here and the Lee Sin for Levi. So finally, after all the hype around this pick, we are going to see a carry jungler for the side of GAM.
It's rough out here.
I like it. I think especially for Levi, like this is a pick that's massive for this guy. Made his name on it, so you can even see Raz and Gilbert calling for it on the desk. Like this is definitely a pick that Levi is very comfortable on and can be active in the early stages, which I think was missing a lot from Levi in the last one. But on the opposite side, that's another pick that can cause some serious issues. Great ball delivery, messes up entirely.
Yeah, you're right. I need to change the link
because you don't know what way is up when the darkness comes in. And I think for Loud,
there you go.
Great response.
Levi
so far from GAM.
Yeah, we'll get
is playing against Nocturne.
Huh? For afterwards, depending on how good or bad.
Alright, you know the drill. If you want to avoid ads, you can sub.
Oh, is he?
Once you're subbed for the whole month of Worlds, so you'll never get ads. Mods drop the Gamba. Mods drop the Gamba. You don't have to sub, you can to avoid ads, it's up to you.
Yes, you might have disengaged the
and the pace begins now.
But if you're already still in vision and you're away from your support, you could get picked off as just as much. So both these teams kind of happy with what they've done so far. But I do think GAM's composition a little bit more cohesive than it was in game number 1.
Your sub would run out just before the finals.
Yeah, it has a very solid identity.
Yeah, I guess your sub would kind of run out. Yo, Zest, thanks for the 10 gifted subs. You're crazy. Yo, Zest, you're nuts. Okay, your sub would run out a week before Worlds Finals, but then you can like. Are you casting Worlds? No.
But the question remains of like, how do you try and play these team fights? Because once Nocturne hits 6, these dive competitions.
But is that a bad thing? Then you get to be 2 months sub, and you get a new badge. Yeah, how cool is that?
Able to just go, hey, you can't see what your team's doing.
How cool is that?
Know what direction people are coming from, and if you're able to provide that disruption, that
group displayed and camera on OBS. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. How do you do that?
Definitely a little bit more kind of scrappy in the early stages for GAM.
Oh, here we go.
They're going to want to try and make these things happen. But like we saw in that first game, if it doesn't go well and you start to fall behind, they did look a little bit like a fish out of water. They didn't really know exactly when and where they needed to go. So have to make sure that they can bounce back solidly. It's not the end of the world if they lose this best of 3, but it definitely doesn't.
Oh, I fixed it. Look at that. They moved together now.
I mean, especially you kind of end up with the situation where you got or7 who will go up against the guys who knocked them out. You got Loud.
That's crazy.
Against the guys who knocked them out. If we end up with both sides losing, so it'll be very interesting to see how it goes. But
damn, technology is wild.
Their footing in this one again.
Technology is crazy.
Like, again, you've got good setup. Try and play through your lanes. But if Loud are able to get towards those later team fights like Root, incredibly safe from the dive that GAM have thanks to Zaya. You're looking at the ball delivery system that Croc will offer with Tin Owns. And a lot of people don't realize is that like, if you start the animation of the ultimate, it will carry past the area of like the
I didn't know.
Back to Orianna.
I didn't know you could do that.
A lot of that combo is going to be a case of Tino's trying to time that correctly as Croc sends himself in and being that big engage tool.
See what they can make of it, of course, but for the moment, of course, if you want to connect your League of Legends account with your Prime Gaming, you can grab the exclusive experimentation emote. Get yourself a nice little bit of a freebie.
That emote is so cool.
You know, you can get loads of different stuff for Prime Gaming, so always check it out. So we can see what they kind of go for here. I wonder if any more experimentation is going to happen in the play-ins. What's the craziest thing you're thinking? Because we saw a Mumu yesterday in the WQS, which wasn't technically Worlds. So.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still waiting for the Senna to come out. I've just heard awful things about Senna. She's doing at the moment. Myself and Dracos have also been tearing up solo queue. Well, we'll say solo queue with 5 stack normals.
Yeah, ruining some poor person's day every day.
Yeah, with Senna, so we'll see how that one goes. But yeah, I mean, there's still a huge amount. I think Azir is still very, very
Sorry, I'm
popular.
just finishing this food.
I think we haven't really seen any of the AD carry bullies come out from like Lucian and Caitlyn and that kind of stuff.
This
so
Nocturne pathing is kind
a
of...
lot still to try and.
We should have done Raptors, Krugs, Red, and then into bot side.
And also, we kind of have the usual one, which is like, there's always one pick that pops up in play-ins, and you're like, this is so broken. And then we get to the main stage, you're like, this is useless.
Yeah, Tryndamere. I was around that 2020, 2021 Tryndamere.
Mumu last year as well.
Mumu last year. It does feel kind of fun, though. I like the kind of testing grounds, if you will, of the
Pedro has
to kind
any
of see
reaction
what we might
NPC?
or might not see. But so far, it's been pretty standard. I think that we should be seeing a lot of Renekton and a lot
Operation
more
Don't
Orianna
Get
as we
Gap
go
bot
through
is a go for GAM.
Through the play-ins and even the main stage. So
Don't get Gap bot. That's all they have to do.
Flavor of the tournament. It's a month-long tournament. Does end up getting what I call the mini metas, and you end up kind of having things that are priority, even though they wouldn't have been priority at the start.
Yeah, I still think though, like Control Mage is just so
show the Asia Games t-shirts. I don't believe you.
We saw it yesterday. We haven't got to see a huge amount of it in the last game, just because it just wasn't a position for it to really scale into it. And even in first series today, going for a bit of a more defensive build.
They're right there.
This in Tin Owns, I want to see pure aggression. I want to see like the Leandries straight in towards the Shadow Flame, like get your damage there, so you can actually be a 2-item carry and really get into the mid game and hitting your stride.
Their sizes are L. The sizes are
There
L.
was a moment there for Seos to go for something.
They're in a little box.
Now that Levi has been revealed, Croc gonna just walk away.
Why did you buy them? I got someone in Korea to buy them for me and send them to me.
Yeah,
Nocturne wins level 4 versus Lee Sin, but not against Rel.
Croc might be forced to flash as he realizes he's a little bit isolated away from his team. Nice full tilt from Pallet to get him right into the thick of it, but good little bit of aggression there.
You have
from
money
Levi,
from streaming and you're wearing a $5 little shirt? Yeah, so what? I don't spend money on expensive clothes.
You have to burn that flash just because you had that push from GAM on that bot side.
I like pajamas. Look, these pajamas, bro. When you buy good pajamas, life becomes so nice. Just buy good pajamas, I promise. Pajamas are nice.
And a lot of that is trying to set Croc.
Invest in pajamas.
A little bit later, you delay that effect. He has a little bit longer before it becomes really relevant in these lanes and in these.
It feels so nice on your skin, and you feel so cozy.
As explosive a start as they had.
Don't buy super fashionable things that make you feel like you're being squeezed to death.
Side, but little
by
bit, that's the power of the
really
top
nice
laners
pajamas.
As well. We see it so often that you kind of need to always be in that lane. If you go for a bit of an unfavorable reset, you're going to lose a plate or two because of Demolish and how strong it is.
Naked.
So right now, it just feel like Kiaya does feel comfortable in this one. He really wants this turret plate, but he needs to be very careful with how he goes for it. He's taking one too many turret shots. He has to flash. And that's the thing, as Jamada would say, the curse of Los Platos almost took him.
Honestly, I think it's just bad decision making from Kiaya. Like, you know the Nocturne's going to be up in this top side, right? You knocked Croc out of the bot lane. You know that he tried to clear all his camps, so the only place he really could be is going to be top side. So Kiaya burning that for no real reason when he could have just tried to wait out. So a little bit of a mistake that I think Croc should be able to come back and punish then and kind of put Kiaya in his place.
I think it's expected slower the game.
We shall see.
Mid jungle has no setup till 6.
Be hitting 6 very soon. That's when the game
Nocturne has no agency till 6 really. Top and bot are pretty even.
Before you really try to go for something, and yeah, Seos just being a little bit of a nuisance just to try and make sure he has full eyes on Levi, and that's kind of half the battle when it comes to something like a Nocturne or Lee Sin. If you have vision on them, if you know where they're going to be most of the time, they do have a much more muted impact of how they can kind of affect the game.
Yeah, I think that's where at the moment you're trying to keep track, but there's been no real like funny business.
Now the game will get interesting,
right? It's been
when Lee Sin gets one more camp.
Go back to your camps on either side of the map that are respawning, so everyone kind of aware of what the enemy jungler is up to. It's just been a case of, well, GAM getting push on bot side, making it very difficult for Loud to respond in a lot of ways to this. So you can see again Lee Sin going to start up Dragon because he knows, hey, bot lane's pushed in. The Croc can't just deal with me himself, and Caddy has pushed mid. So at the moment, GAM playing a much more calculated game.
Really nice setup by GAM.
Off of their wave states well with the winning lanes in mid and bot.
Yeah, much.
I will say, Orianna, Xayah, Rakan, really good. Cassante, good nullifier. Nocturne doesn't fit this comp very well.
Second one's going to be a mountain one. We'll see in 5
like
minutes,
T1
for now,
in the LCK, They play Nocturne every now and then.
Cheeky with his positioning right now,
but they play Nocturne Nico or Nocturne any. They always played Nocturne Nico. It was like blue side, they would first pick something, then on 2-3 they would play Nocturne Nico every game. If it was open. And then Nico was permanent in C1.
Yeah, and if you can keep up the pressure on Loud, that's where they really start to struggle, especially pre-20 minutes.
Yeah, Nocturne Cannon is good as well.
Cross maps in the early stages. They're not great at trying to find themselves in a position where, oh, we can trade objective A.
Nocturne Rakan is nice, but
so if you're actually in a position where
Rakan is engaged, not damage engaged.
It's not often that we see Croc trying to then go, oh, I'll dive bot instead, or something along those lines. So if you can keep the pressure up, it kind of just becomes a stew that Loud can't really deal with. And I think that's where GAM, if they can start
Nocturne Orianna is kind of hard to execute because Nocturne goes so far away.
Keeping that up, Loud will start to struggle.
But you could do Orianna Rakan with Nocturne ult. Or you can Nocturne ult on Kai'Sa if he tries to solo kill someone.
I think for the next few minutes we will have a Rift Herald spawning in 30 seconds, but the pressure for GAM does feel... Oh, nice little move. I was going to say go completely on it. You mentioned it earlier. They
very nice punish.
The flashless crocodile, and Croc does just that beautiful there from Robbo.
But you didn't even need a stun on him like that. It's like, oh yeah, he's got no flash, we can go for this. But instead it's like, hang on, let me just break this man's ankles. So GAM now down. We just said, hey, we want to see them keep up the pressure. Well, once again, Croc gets into top lane, helps Robbo out.
Very nice.
Kiaya,
alright, I'm done eating.
Well, now we're the ones that get this Rift Herald.
Yeah, and there's a reason why it was a featured match represented by Mercedes-Benz, because those moments where Robbo should be on the backside of it just changed the dynamic of the game. All of a sudden,
it's crazy if they get Herald. They are not allowed Herald.
They might try and go on top of you here. No one actually helped him out with the Rift Herald, so that's just going to be a big change of pace.
That's fine though. Like, Roots on bot
they
side,
dropped
he's
so
getting
much.
2 plates for this, so you've invested everything from GAM to try and get this because you don't have your top laner there. Kiaya doesn't even have the TP to get down to bot side, so
true.
Like, this is actually still working out relatively well for Loud because Kiaya will be able to pick up the wave, but you just lost that last wave, and maybe you lose another plate here. Maybe you lose your life for Kiaya as well, because no flash, and here comes the dive.
I mean, he's already used his ultimate just to try and clear it off.
They
They've
can't
got the
kill
second plate to come in here. The stun comes down. The knockup is good. He
maybe
finally
they
gets
can kill
himself
him.
away. The root is decent. Can they get the damage?
Whoa,
they can!
very close.
Root picks that one up, and that is now
flash,
2-0 for Loud in this game. They get everything they wanted and a little bit more.
Hey, I just said Loud aren't great at cross-mapping, but they pulled it off.
I don't know if they can dive Robo either.
Needs to be top. Has the ult if he can get
yeah,
in here.
maybe they can dive. Oh, Lee Sin RQ'd missed.
But again, it's still Sante, so he's going to be able to be just fine. He has some flashes. Now they've used 2 different things. There's the CC buffer coming in. Pallets in a little bit of trouble. Flash comes in.
Wait, the Lee Sin Q?
Robbo saying, bring more.
Where's the Lee Sin Q?
I'll take his all on.
Oh, we hit it.
Finally comes in, and they get the execution there.
Okay, we hit it.
Q, but it took a hell of a lot longer than GAM needed.
I wasn't sure if Croc would just move up towards top side with the ultimate, just try and help out in that regard, because I think if you end up with Croc there, they're not able to do much. Didn't want to lose out on the mid plates though to Catty. So
I've done that before. If you ever played a lot of Lee Sin, you've always done that before.
So yes, it's kill for kill.
Happens to the best of us.
Loud still responding well.
Oh my god, that's terrible for the game state.
Might have to use it here in a second.
It doesn't even matter if he dies or not, the damage is done. It's a horror already. Oh my god, it's so doomed in top side.
Those are small mistakes we saw in game number 1 as well, where they just weren't really respecting Loud, and Loud fully prepared.
Actually, what do you do right now?
Yeah, the fact that you
oh, Ari's covering top, holy fuck.
Is such a big win for Loud.
Catty brain.
Gonna respond to Root here. Doesn't have his
he saved it.
You can see maybe GAM trying to think of
something. Okay, Orianna gets a plate, but it's not the worst. Saya would have gotten 2 or 3.
Probably a few more members of Loud up there than they'd bargained for.
Not too bad.
But again, Tinon's now pushing in mid because Catty's staying on top side, so he's going to take plates. It's little wins that are starting to pick up here for Loud. It's only, you know, an 800 gold lead, 600 gold lead for them, but control over top side. You'll get to reset now. You got control over mid, where you can start to move over towards this dragon. Just start to disrupt GAM, who had control of the early stage.
Yeah, Loud is doing pretty good so far.
In the mid lane, but
pretty damn good.
It does feel like it's GAM responding a lot of the times. Loud making the play, and they're two movements forward. But
this is the problem with Orianna Nocturne as well. I don't know, their side pressure isn't great. Is Ari really scared of these two if Lee Sin's top?
Not a fight you want to be taking just yet, but
I think Ari Lee Sin destroys
just kind of playing this not like slow, but in a much more methodical way. They're not reacting in a panicked way. They're just getting what they can and constantly making GAM answer to them.
Yeah, I think at the moment Loud would like to try and set up for this Rift Herald and again have GAM respond to them. But the biggest problem that they have right now is like Tinon's actually kind of a little bit behind. Would love to try and finish off his Luden's Echo before he gets in towards this next fight. Like that would give him so much control. So they have him on top side, but he needs to push in, reset, then TP into the fight. So a little bit dangerous.
Drake start.
Control over mid priority though means that Loud
Ooh,
will
the
start
Drake
up the
start
dragon.
is a bit tough.
You can see Robo trying to fight for bot priority as well, but this is kind of dangerous. There's a lot of big combo the GAM can just go for here as Loud are trying to set up.
Orianna has Mythic in base, she can TP in and retake control. They just need to get mid-wave now, Loud.
They will just be CC'd
Oh, she cancelled her base. Why? Why did Orianna cancel her base?
To make sure they're in a position to kind of get that
One more
one
wave.
safely, as we see both AD carries with their first item, Stormrazor for Slater, so going not the build we just saw there from Root, because he knows he's going to have to try and burn through.
I feel like there's 3 Kai'Sa builds. There's the Stormrazor build, there's the Kraken Slayer build, and there's the Umbral Glaive build. I think Static Shift build is gone now. But those are the 3 builds.
He's going to pick up his
The 3 Kai'Sa builds now.
Probably those Merc threads finished as well, and then they'll be able to actually fight with this.
Okay, both mids should have
Mythics,
mythics, right? Ludens and
That's
Everfrost.
what a lot of they're playing for. You can see Luden's just completed. I think he's just waiting. No, won't get the boots at the moment, but still in a really strong spot now compared to Cassie.
Dustblade, yeah. Dustblade is the Umbral Glaive build.
Does have a TP available to themselves, so
Shiv is still good.
push in that top side and look to get a little bit more. Not quite sure.
I haven't seen it much.
For the turret plate if they really
Oh,
want
he's
to,
dropping top wave to
right now.
Yeah. Excuse me, sorry. They need Cassie to try and get his own answer.
Man, this dance around this Drake.
Completed,
All I'm praying for in this Drake is that it's Ocean Soul.
For gold is, and just try and find that dragon off the reset for Cassie.
Ocean Soul Prage.
The tower though, so they're kind of missing their window of opportunity here.
Here we go. Croc looking to get caught on.
Oh, that's Rel flash. That's not good for GAM. That's good for Loud. Oh, Croco didn't even ult. He just walked into a charm.
Comes in to bring the Renekton right back into the hands.
Kiaya's tanky.
As she tries to put down the feathers to get this damage down. A flash away from Kiaya gets him out of that fight. But you've lost your jungler now on the side of Loud. They need to try and push this mid lane. But I don't think GAM are going to let them do it for free.
But the longer this goes, the better it is for LLL, because what they can do is they can base and TP on solo lanes, and GAM can't, and they have Nocturne ult.
Gets away from the charm. You can see Kati trying to see if he can catch him there, get good
Loud can win the extended. They shouldn't give up here, Loud. They should keep fighting.
The people who died
double TP, 1 TP bot, 1 TP mid.
Kaya just goes, hey, yeah, you do your thing mid. I'm gonna
where's Orianna TP?
So nice response from GAM.
Orianna TP somewhere. They should TP. Oh, is he doing? Tin.
They're a little bit low, but I think they can burn this.
They should fight this. Oh, he's so late on the TP.
Really wants to get in here.
There's the Nocturne ult. Now they should win now.
Right there as well. They're going to try and jump straight on top of the lead.
Kick was okay, but the champ's useless.
Tries to see if he can move away. Excuse me, he uses flashes there. Only got him right behind on the ward hop. And now the dragon is taking so much
he can't steal it.
A bit of a charm under Robbo, but
Crocodile didn't have smite.
That is the question. Slater wants to go for something right now.
It looks a bit
it's
tough.
going to be so difficult. It's a little bit of a
what is Croco doing? He's just running at them. What? What is he doing? Why did I say Croco? It's Croc. It's not Croco. Wake up, man.
As these odd bars are so low. Levi lands Sonic Wave, but doesn't want to overcommit to
what is he doing?
Important for Loud. Yes, they lose
he got a 5-man stride breaker.
But it's more kills going over towards GAM again. So this is where we get to see finally that 1,000 gold lead.
That was some L9 kind of shit. That was, yeah.
Lane economy Snapchat is on that jungle, right? So Levi doing
the lane economy snapshot.
And although they did
well, at least the league economy is good.
Hey,
don't zoom out.
Don't
look at the
hey, you're gonna have your ult
the
up
world.
In a second. Maybe we can make the play, but without it, they just overcommit.
This is a much stronger start now from GAM as well, keeping themselves right in this one. Yes, they did lose that dragon fight, but they had one of their own. But again, let's look at how chaotic this whole thing is.
Yeah, and this is where Croc should have just tried to take the long way around.
This was.
The problem is, look at where Zaya is. She's completely zoned out of the equation. Can't really get
what
into
does Croc
fight.
do? He walks in and fears him.
The wall she's supposed to be on.
He should not walk up there. That's a dead rel.
Get the pick. Your jungler goes down.
Patience. I think a lot of playing teams lack patience and decisiveness. Like snappy decisions and being really slow in fights. Like here, Root is. Like getting charm doesn't do anything, I guess, but doesn't need to. And Robo here, he zones away Ahri. Now he's done his job. He can run away already. Dragon secured. But he gets chunked out a lot, so they have to help him. And now Croc here just has to back.
There's no need. No ultimate on towards the Orianna.
Let the Orianna zone them, but where is he going?
Try and get something with this setup, but your Ori doesn't really have the damage without that ultimate at the moment. And you don't really have Root in a position where he can step up to be the carry. Pallet though.
Oh, Pallet.
That guy's
trying to use a crash down right now. It is a Chem Soul, so we'll have a little bit of the
don't have any damage.
Rift to help him out, getting that extra little bit of a knockback from the plant. But while we came back, the top lane and the mid lane, thank you so much to our observers, do end up getting taken out. So it's a trade.
Oh, Levy.
Still about 1,000 gold. Actually, it's coming up to about 2,000 gold. GAM have been able to pick up a lot of farm on those side lanes. 30 CS between the junglers is the one that I'm looking at right now, and it does feel like it's GAM having a little bit of a stronger time on these resets.
Yeah, definitely getting a lot off the back of this.
You know what we should do?
We
should get like some washed pro player streamers like me.
On GAM to start to pick up the pace.
And we should join a minor region and try hard and try and get the worlds. Like a me and Baus in fucking
so they're able to control the map.
In LLA, me and Baus try and win the split and go to World's Plains. That would be fucking funny.
Get that down, but I imagine they're going to try and hold on to that for the mid lane tower instead, and just have Catty slowly work down this bot lane turret.
I think it's just so close to being taken down anyway. You commit a little bit of extra time, you should be able to just kind of get it eventually.
How funny would that be?
Full first items being coming out across the board for pretty much everybody. As we wait to see now what the next big play will be. Just under 2 minutes until that dragon spawns, but being a Chem Soul, it's not going to be the biggest of priorities.
Nemesis, yeah, Nemesis would do it. Nemesis would do it. Nemesis would win a minor region, 100%. That's a minor region easy win with Nemesis.
Couldn't keep control of our bot side. Look at the difference now, right? Levi, far more
me and Nemesis, bro. We should go to Brazil
and
make World Plains.
Good positioning when it comes towards these fights as well, though struggled a little bit thanks to Robo in that last one, but at least GAM are actually fighting toe-to-toe with Loud rather than just being blown over by a stiff breeze. GAM as well, looking for Xayah here. Root might have overextended.
Yeah, definitely has overextended. The cleanse ain't going to do anything. Going to have to probably flash as well, but honestly, once he got caught out there, I think the cleanse and the flash are useless. And
accidentally win worlds, yeah.
Carry is gone. Now they can use the Rift Herald on the top side, mid lane, really kind of
Nemesis could play in a major region. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying minor region would be free win.
Didn't have any sort of vision. It gets caught out now. That's going to be the mid lane turret taking without much
resistance. It's a lot that they're going to get here.
This push forward.
The crash is going to hit.
Very careful here. Charm could land.
Yeah, the guy is behind. I was going to say, they're going to try and maybe go for a bit of a move here. Kiaya
nice flash.
has to flash away. Does end up kind of being a little bit too far extended right now, and it's just becoming a little bit of a problem now. GAM kind of building this momentum to get themselves back in this match. 3,000 gold.
Yeah, I mean, big move from GAM to get that everything that they needed there. I will say, overextending just a smidge, where in that situation you could have backed off, set yourselves up for Dragon, and you would have been in a great spot, but this is just silly from Root. Like, yes, you've got that ultimate, but you have zero vision in that push to spot out Pallet. Great flash in, sets up perfectly coming through with the ultimate as well. And as they start to back away, I think that's where they could have been, but we're back into live. You got 13 seconds until Dragon. This is where you want to try and
it's not Ocean Soul. I didn't realize.
Yeah,
Fuck.
Really want to try and keep
where are my Ocean Dragons at?
Down on the pedal, get that momentum going.
Where are my Ocean Dragons
at? Yourself back into the series, because after game one, I don't think a lot of people would have been, I wouldn't give them too much of a hard time if they said, look, this is allowed 2-0, but really good bounce back here by GAM, and to kind of completely change up their draft and priorities to make sure they aren't just going to get, bombed out again.
Yeah, we'll see. Raz might be picking up his shoe by the end of this, but now starting to move in. Sorry, flip-flop, yes, but now starting to move in. Levi in a good position. Keep your eyes on Pallet. Actually going to come back over the wall. I thought he was going to try and keep that position.
Yeah, you got TP wards available.
Nice position, but they see him, I think.
You're going to see now if Robo can keep him going, but never mind. They're going to try and fully commit here onto the Rect and get his ultimate out of him. The paranoia does mean that there's no real re-engage to come out of this one here. Gaia taking a lot of damage here and will eventually be taken out. They did get the Dragon.
Well, where's Palette going? Oh my god, the call is so bad. They need to run.
Robo feeling empowered and confident gets kicked right the way back because he wants nothing to do with this team. And Levi ward tops over, so Dragon goes over to GAM, kill to Loud.
Yeah, Loud though, they're trying to see if they can maybe move into position here to just keep them pushed out. Actually going to continue to chase this. I wasn't sure if they were just trying to look for the mid-tier 2 instead, but they did find a pick.
Catsy's getting a lot of damage onto him. He doesn't have the spirit rush, I should say.
A bit greedy to push out bot there when you have look at their vision bot side from Loud.
The trade pattern
was really greedy to push out bot.
3,000 gold to 1,500 gold, they've cut it in half.
Yeah, nice job coming through from Loud to find that pick. Even now they get to kind of right the wrongs of the lanes a little bit, push in top, get control over this mid lane as well. Send Root into a position where he can actually start to get a bit more of this gold and try and get him towards 2.5 to 3 items very quickly. So nice picks. But I still think Loud, at least having control over the Dragons for a moment, will help out substantially and just again trying to.
Yeah, it would kind of work if TCL still had a spot at Worlds. It would kind of work because then we could play online in the Turkish league.
You turn a kill and do an objective, you're doing well.
It's not going to work.
Rage Blade just get finished up here by Slater. So
could I just very quickly point out how many wards are around that Dragon Pit? That is a ludicrous amount.
And they're all for Loud. That's the craziest thing. They're all Loud wards. If anyone sneezes is around that Dragon Pit, they will know about it. But, I mean, it's why they felt comfortable going for that tower. There you go. There's a method to the madness, Dagger.
I mean, look, allowed getting something back is nice. Trying to slow down the pace as well for GAM, because let's be real, I mean, Xayah scales wonderfully, Orianna scales fantastically, same with K'Sante. So the later this game goes, the more opportunities Loud will have. So it is on GAM to try and keep the pace up and keep themselves in a position where they can threaten Loud. And these picks, these moments where you're trying to clear out vision,
I'll put it up here.
Maybe you can find that opportunity.
We'll see now, Loud.
No, I won't.
Just kind of getting themselves a couple of second items, or excuse me, GAM getting themselves a couple of second items. Got the Sterix Gauge and the Black Cleaver for Kiaya and Levi, respectfully. And of course, we did talk about the Gwynzu's Rage.
What are you going to do after this series? I don't know. Maybe play some Mario Kart?
Stormrazor's Edge. So, let's see if they want to go for something right now. It does look like, for the moment, they're happy to kind of just control this mid lane. They don't want to go for too much, and that's what I was saying. You got to be careful of those feathers. The Xayah so scarily, deceptive with the way she works.
Don't go in.
I think they're trying to keep an eye for Robo. Oh, Pallet missed it!
Pallet missed it!
What did Pallet just do?
Has to kick away. They do get the stretching strike. That's going to force the cleanse. The Charms comes down. They got Kiaya on the backside. The flanking Renekton is the scariest. They look to try and get onto Root, and he is dead. Now that's 2 kills. Good shockwave, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Oh,
a double kill for the top laner as they keep pushing in and more. They're looking to try and make do and make up for a first game wins, and GAM looking to bounce back hard.
Root thought that this was game 1, thought that he could go forward, but wasn't expecting Kiaya over the side. All that vision we talked about on the bottom side for Loud passes out, and the second it does, Kiaya gets into position. GAM find the kills, and they'll get the Baron.
5v5, and they came
Pick'ems are safe.
They'll get the
What do you mean your Pick'ems are safe?
Jungle camps, they got the mid tier 1 and 2 as well. This was a fantastic amount of gold and just presence for GAM.
Yeah, we'll see it as the replay kicks off, just how quickly Loud panic when they see the Renekton come in. Like, Root had already used his ultimate to try and make the play happen.
So
it was a good ult because he does get rid of the kick here, which was the big follow-up, right?
Well, the Xayah ult was also
for this kick, then sets up for Pallet, but the problem is he's now too far forward as the proc comes over the wall, tries to flash away, and Loud are panicking to try and keep Root safe, but with the follow from Levi, with Kiaya just being in the mix, it was so difficult to try and keep him alive, and Ori just isn't in a position right now to be that 1 DPS carry for those fights. She's only sitting on an item and a half.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, the Red Bull Baron power play now coming in here for GAM, but this is a huge shift now. It's a 5,000 gold lead, 5.5 actually. Dragon spawning in a minute's time. They're going to get full priority in all the side lanes, and you are just kind of sitting and waiting now on the side of Loud to try and get this game back into your favor.
Yeah, honestly, I think if I'm Loud, I'm like, look, let's not even go for it. Just leave this next dragon. Yes, it'll put them on towards Soul Point, but realistically, we're just not in a position to try and fight right now. We have absolutely no vision. Let's see if we can try and get some of the standing go to the map, use some of these bounties, like get top tower, try and get control over mid a little bit. Just give ourselves an opportunity to scale. Like 3 items, and Loud are so absolutely terrifying in a team fight that if you take a step wrong, you're going to know all about it as GAM. So just take it slow. There's no need to try and overforce things here.
No need to overforce, no need to get too antsy, but like I said, in that last fight, the panic that kind of set in, but oh, here we go, they're looking for a little bit of a move here, onto the Kai'Sa.
Oh, Kai'Sa down. Kai'Sa down, Kai'Sa down, Kai'Sa down. Wait, hold up.
You said for GAM to not be antsy, but Loud didn't allow them to be.
Nice side step.
How have you done this twice? Absolutely styling on them, getting Slater off
the back of that
was so crucial.
That's Drake as well. That's an objective bounty.
I mean, it is the feature matchup. He is, in a lot of people's eyes, the soul of this team. And when they needed him most, he stepped up to carry. And that is a massive swing now. There it is, the featured matchup presented by Mercedes-Benz. It is going to be Kiaya versus Robo. And Robo is kind of having his way with this matchup.
I'm just gobsmacked. Like, that was so sick. Like, out of nowhere, I was like, oh yeah, they're going to see.
How did Robo get him? Just Q3 into ult?
And next thing, Robo, flash forward, stun with the W.
He's playing Lee Sin in Season 13. Just a better version. What the hell? Yo, where's the Lee Sin buffs at? Where's the Lee Sin buffs? What is that? Not only can K'Sante do that, but he does it unstoppable as well. Imagine Lee Sin was unstoppable in his Q. Can we change that? Lee Sin's unstoppable in his Q?
Just great to get them right back into this one now. So yes, they're still 4,500 gold down, but they got the Dragon, so that's not coming up anytime soon. They've delayed pretty much all of this Baron. It's going to be gone in 15 seconds. You got very little.
Yeah, I mean, a legend in the CBLOL, 6 titles, matching BRTT for Robo, and now coming into this as well, a legend on the Rift as Looking at Pallet again. Doesn't have the flash this time, Robo, but definitely you can see respect from GAM as they start to move back to realize, hang on, lads, we don't have the opportunity to really
hang on, lads.
And this is buying that time that
wouldn't matter. You never hit Q anyway. Okay,
to get
shut
that
up.
Scaling, but
You're
this
like
is
this.
what Loud do. Like when you look at them in
so
CBLOL, it's like 20 minutes is where they start to come alive. They have these moments where they can find a pick. They'll play off good
Edge of Night, Stridebreaker,
find
Nocturne just isn't doing
way
it for me.
to slow
It's
down
not doing
the
it.
game and get back into it. And Robo with that play did exactly that.
That's it. We talked about how, you know, in the last game, the early game was not what Loud are known for in the CBLOL. It's the later stages, the 20+ minutes. Even when they're behind, they were able to kind of create opportunities, create moments where they can make anything happen, just like that. And this thing as well is a...
Yo, Weibo got shy is in the chat. Long time no see. Rough day at work. What do you mean rough day at work? You were winning scrims, right?
Coming up to 3.5 and 4 now in a moment, but it becomes so much harder to deal with this Cassante the more tankiness he gets, the more, you know, kind of items and kind of just general kind of game-changing buffs he gets from some of these items, like the Gargoyles don't play.
Yeah, I mean, at this stage, your biggest worry is going to be like Tin-Owns when he starts to finish his Void Staff. It's just going to be so clutch for Loud. Again, though, you got to kind of like buy that time. So at the moment, you can see Loud, they've kind of set up their vision line, right? It's like a direct line just across their ward place.
Pallets, he didn't know he was sitting on a ward. And Pink Ward did not catch it there. Robo just moving forward aggressively, confidently.
Weibo is in the DRX facility? Are they actually?
Twisted for the moment. Yes,
wait, they're the 4th seed from the LPL.
Gotta remember, this is
they're in the DRX facility.
For GAM. They are still in the driving seat. They need to make something happen.
The song is about the Shy because it's New Jeans, super shy. Bro, you can't tell me it's not scripted. It's happening.
And they're happy to defend this for the moment.
Yeah, no Barons. This siege is not really going to go anywhere. The Everfrost into the Q from the RE is not going to do a huge amount to Robbo, who has basically no magic resistance at the moment. Has a little bit of passive stuff from the Iceborne Gauntlet, but that's a bad so gotta be careful.
You're all cooked if you don't think it's happening. All the signs are there.
A much tighter game here for GAM than they probably would have liked, considering how well they were working in that mid game.
Yeah, and this is where, like, in theory, what you want to try and do is GAM is like, hey, we're going to try and set up for a push in mid, use that to then draw Loud into the mid lane, and then establish all our vision. Try
just tuned in from NA when the Golden Guardians play.
Clear out some of the opportunities
I'm not sure, but I think their flight's in about 2 hours, and they're at gate FF20.
Pull enough members of Loud into those positions, and it means that the Loud are constantly able to defend that vision line. So for GAM, it's a case of, hey, can you actually play through this map state properly? And I mean, to be honest, it's not something that we see from them a lot domestically. It is a case of, hey, if we show up mid, you're going to fight. And that's kind of the way that it has worked in the VCS. With Loud showing this much restraint, I think GAM are starting to struggle a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. They're not getting the same kind of madness, if you will, that they would get from the VCS. They're not getting the same kind of crazy plays that everyone just kind of throws everything at the wall and sees what stick. But to note that we have got a couple of key items being picked up here. We have got 3 items here onto the Xayah. Lord Dominus Regard gets finished up, so they are fantastically fed if they can put down the feathers. Not only that, on the other side, you do have Slater with 3 items, but they also have the tiny little buff of having a stopwatch. So we'll wait and see how both these teams want to fight around these fights.
Baron fight.
What
can you do, Levi?
What can you do? Robbo now with his Randuin's Omen going full for that AD, or armor, I should say, to deal with the AD. It's kind of making them towards it.
Watch Tin-Owns. He's trying to sit off onto the side here. See if he can catch GAM as they start to make their way in again. Like, Tin-Owns can kind of sit and look for these plays because he knows Croc and Sales can have that immediate follow-up, but not quite finding anyone for the moment. Vision,
I don't like the Randuins on...
Area,
he's okay, I think, maybe?
They're going to finally jump straight in on top of him, but now they can get everybody else down.
Wait, hold up!
The paranoia puts everybody into the darkness.
Root is cooking. Root is cooking. Root is cooking. Eh! Ay, caralho! Wait, they got 4 kills. Wait, it's a comeback.
Was so close to being there, but the damage was not there to follow up. And once again, Loud are managing to snatch victory.
The Lee Sin Ari griefed it.
It just feels like GAM, it's such a massive moment. They felt like they had it, but just small little things that went against them that just didn't really work. Levi looking for a 1v1. Never mind, it's a 1v2. Does get a ward jump over the wall, but
get the
Raptors.
Raptors.
Nowhere near this. Dragons have even potentially stopped that soul point from going over, but I mean, Loud just playing this matchup so well.
Let's go Loud.
Honestly, just keeping GAM just in the dark, quite literally.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for GAM, they just weren't able to try and play off of, hey, look, we've got this Lee Sin Ari, let's try and make a quick pick. And you could see the idea was there, especially with Slater having that ultimate.
Where was Kai'Sa ult? Did she ult in?
Burst them out, but despite not having defensive stats, it's so difficult to burst out this Ori. Charm dodged, which was beautiful. But then the miss Q coming through from Caddy, that's the damage that realistically
she did,
would
but they don't have
finish
any,
off this Orianna.
They don't have any damage.
Nice and early, but not there. Then as you get the follow-up from the Renekton on this top side, great charm.
Robo smurfed this fight, Root
from
smurfed this
Sales
fight.
to keep everyone off of Root. And with those 3 items that you talked about, Oshin completed, Root is able to carry out the DPS he needs.
That's it. The paranoia comes down.
Oh,
game is and then just perfect. I don't want to say it's over, but
LLL, they're scaling. They're against Ahri, Lee Sin, Renekton. Those champs are useless against Xayah later on. And now we're later on. She has ult, stopwatch, cleanse, level 16 flash. How does Xayah die? Needs super kick.
Tier 1.
No flash on Lee Sin though. How do you super kick?
Look at mid. Croc is going to crack open this tier 2 as well. Like, you're in such a good position now as Loud to now not only get the gold lead back in your favor, but also grow it.
Here we go. They're looking for a little bit of a fight right now. The turret from the Nocturne in the mid lane because he's got the paranoia to join in on top of this one. Kati has been spotted and immediately the paranoia comes out. Turn off the lights. Where are you going to go? I'm going to jump right on top of your face and then force you to back away. Just small little things that just stop everything from GAM, and Loud have just perfectly navigated this mid to late game.
Kati and Levi trying to turn on to Croc, but he's able to get out of there as well. And now Loud.
Top wave's coming in.
Minions here, but Croc is
Nocturne split push was good, but his ult's on cooldown. Oh, another TP.
You know what? If it's
Tino's no flash.
Try it twice. Let's go for it. They're going to try and see if they get Kai on the backside. He pops the dominance to see if they can burn him down. There's the good
kick is okay.
Comes in, Slater tries to do the
but
damage.
what is that Kai'Sa doing? Oh, mama. It was a good bait actually. Yo, Xayah. Where is this Kai'Sa going?
Immediately turns his target onto the other carry of GAM.
What is my man Kai'Sa on?
He was the featured matchup. He was the man we looked to be the king.
He could have carried that whole fight. Robo! Robo Penta! Robo!
He's not quite done. He wants to best a little bit more time, but he's not got the damage now. He's finally done on his all out, but they may still look
for
more.
He missed it.
Robo was the chosen one. He was the one we said to watch the day. And in game 2,
Robo
down, we said they were out. Robo stood tall and said, come at me, Kaya. What you got?
They said you got the high ground, but it does not matter because Robo still taking a lot of damage. Finally gets the Gargoyle Stone Plate. He's going to get another dominance.
Hold up, Renekton. Renekton!
The shutdown comes on the Robo, but he is
look at Renekton.
Kaya does get a double kill, and GAM survive, but it is literally that word, survive.
2 dominance, 2 shockwaves, a second chance needed for Loud to try and finish this off. It's only Halloween, don't start that. But as he starts to come in, I mean, for here, Root, he's got on the wrong side of this fight. But again, Sales keeping people at bay, managed to get onto Levi.
Oh, that stopwatch from Kai'Sa. But Kai'Sa should run up here. Up. He should run up. He should be fighting the front and killing Kai'Sa. Why does he run into Cassante? Kai'Sa's stopwatch was really good, but she should run up.
Consistent damage is gone with consistent damage. And Robo, this Cassante, level 17 with this many items, it's going to be so damn strong. But defender advantage as we come into the second fight here. Kaya super healthy, coming back out. Robo has nothing left in tank when it comes to damage, so it's all on Tin owns, but he just doesn't have enough consistent DPS as this Orianna to try and take it out.
No, the stopwatch was good. She stopwatched Rakan and Xayah E-Flash. But she should just run up then.
The scaling feels like it has hit. This feels like now you have a full item Cassante. Oh, I'm going to say that was something. Look at no damage.
Wow.
No one did anything.
Wow.
Everything out of him and he couldn't
wow.
do any
Wow.
damage.
Big damage. I'm bursting. I
mean, a Chem Soul for the Cassante this huge is actually massive.
Yeah, it's going to be so difficult to try and take him down. But the problem is,
a 6-item Malphite.
I mean, 50 seconds, yes.
Robo.
You have so many issues.
Bro, Robo is such a legend. How fucking cool is that guy? He won them the game with that bot play onto Kai'Sa. Also, this Ahri is healing him. What is that Ahri damage? Look at his items. My man, what's he building now? Zhonya's?
Super minions are being dealt with by Kiaya, but look at that drop. Oh my god. from the win probability powered by AWS. And that's the thing, it's a probability, so it's just kind of figuring out where the game is. And GAM were pretty solid for most of it, but does feel like right now it's just so difficult for them to even step up to Loud.
I mean, we said already, right? The scaling has perfectly come through for Loud. You're looking at nearly your final item coming through from Root. Tinones is going to start working out. Imagine on Rabadon's death cap, so even then it's still going to be tough, but I just don't think he's going to get to it. I mean, well, maybe actually as he has headed back, but like, it's just
I think they have to give
so
soul.
hard. Like, even look at Robo there. It's an
Elixir of Iron.
Yeah, oh, Levy?
Elixir of Iron, so he's
Levy?
more there. There's going to be the cam. So
oh!
Nicely done by Levi, the king of objective
but
steal.
Nash is in 10, so
his life. But it is enough. And look
does it matter?
I don't know where he is, but he's there.
I mean, they were setting up for a potential fight, but
I don't know where Caddy is, but he's there.
As Loud with
yeah, me all game.
On the way. Yes, you stopped the soul, but you're going to lose Baron, and you're still
that's me all game.
Into your own base. Like, it delayed it, but maybe by a handful of seconds, Loud just get to do what they want to get.
Yeah, they won't get the soul in the Baron. They'll just get the Baron. So this is the issue there. And look, Levi always love a little bit of extra spice, kind of putting in as much as he possibly can. And like you said, any advantage you can deny from your enemy is an advantage to you. But yeah, the Baron being here right now, and Slater needs to be very careful with those recalls next time.
Yeah, but Loud, now they're inside the base.
Zaya has GA
10
in flash.
seconds still on Levi, which means mid lane
Mamma mia.
GAM, they're crumbling in front of them. Like, yes, you took away an advantage, but you also gave yourself a disadvantage in this 4 versus 5.
Nah, they don't have damage. This Cassante ain't gonna die.
Inhibitor stands in their way between taking.
To be honest, I think Cassante should sell his plated steel caps and buy Merc Threads. It's probably better, no? Ari, Caedrel, Lee Sin does nothing. Renekton does nothing.
They want revenge, like he said. They've been thinking about this for a long time over in the CBLOL, but
just
for GAM,
min-max it a bit.
They have to try and find something. There has to be something from them there. Red Bull Baron power play coming in for Loud, but
he has enough tenacity. I don't think it's about the tenacity. I think the MR is just better, right? So both their carries are magic damage.
Really function that well in the late game.
Ari tenacity boots. Actually, wait. Why the fuck does Ari have tenacity boots? You need lucidity on this champ, don't you? Early, especially.
He's like, hey, I just want to get into someone and help us blow them up. But
what the hell? What's he gonna? What's the Merc Threads for? The Rakan?
To get someone who's out of position.
The Nocturne Fear?
At every step of the way, Loud have been like, right, now we have control. Group, get vision as a group. Don't let that opportunity to really happen, and it feels like it has to be Levi to maybe look for this like, miracle kick to set things up. But you can see with waves all over the place in favor of Loud, you're kind of split up yourself as GAM to try and cover it.
Not only if you, yes, you get the miracle kick, that would be amazing, but Root has a GA. You know, this isn't exactly an easy target. Even if you do burst them out, you're going to have to do it again.
Kaisa Ari are fucking garage sale items.
Putting in some serious work.
Oh, they're TP flanking?
Any kind of re-engage, as they do eventually jump
oh, they saw him. How? How did they see
Renekton? He flashes, but he's feared anyway. He was left in the dark, and now he will be shut down by himself, alone and isolated, and now without the Renekton to put any kind of real pressure down. Robo doesn't have a problem with this. He'll tank this all day long. He doesn't care what they throw at him. In fact, he might just turn around and say, take the tower, I'll tank it.
Yeah, they're just going to be
Loud.
The third inhibitor turret dropped. Loud going to start to rotate up towards this top side, it looks like, to take the last inhibitor, escort these minion waves in the mid lane as well. Tinones is resetting. He wants the TP. Loud want to end it here.
Yeah, Loud want to end it, but you can see there, GAM know if they let it go back, they're in so much trouble. There you go, the reset's coming in. Death cap, I imagine, to be finished. There it is. Coming out from Tinones, the damage is insane.
Holy fuck, that Orianna is strong.
From this Orianna, the scaling has been hit. Robo goes back and TP's right back in just to pick up an elixir of iron. He doesn't even care about the fight. He wants the towers. They want the 2-0. They try to go for the kick, but Levi can't get there in time. He's feared, he's rooted, and he is
GG! Holy fuck! I didn't expect Loud to win, but here we are.
They'll get the 2-0, and Loud will be continuing on in the upper bracket. It will be GAM to go down to the losers.
And what a performance from Loud to do so. Game 1, pentakill from Root, double solo kill from Root in that bot lane. We get to see what the AD carry of the squad can do. And in game 2, when the chips were down and their backs were against the wall,
was game 1 close? No, game 1 wasn't close.
Find their opportunity, and it's off the
game 1 wasn't close.
Right there, Robo. Fantastic performance.
What is this?
Insane, and it literally was. It was that one play in bot side underneath the tier 2 tower that completely shifted how GAM felt about that game. They were confident. They were.
Bro, he's got some moves.
And then all of a sudden, they were questioning things. They were second guessing themselves. And like you mentioned, they had an opportunity to win, but the timing was very much against them, and they just waited too long.
Is that root? Bro, he's got the moves.
But they just never really gave themselves that chance. Tried to cut corners, and they got cut down by Loud in response.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, there it is. Big L's, but the best kind of L's for Loud coming into this one here. But yeah, it really does feel great from now. And it does feel like this has been kind of a long time coming from the CBLOL. They've always been that region that we've always touted as a maybe they could do this, maybe they could do that, but it would always be kind of
we got a banger remote.
A shot in the dark or such, or an upset. Not this time. It feels different this time.
Well, it has to be different. They're going up against PSG Talon now. They got knocked out at MSI by the squad, and now they get their chance of revenge. I mean, we said at the start of the day, right? Croc, Junja's son is his name in Portuguese in solo queue. Like, this is a guy that 100% wants to show up, and this is a team that wants to show up against PSG Talon, but honestly, I'm shakier looking PSG Talon by comparison. So I'm curious to see how this one's going to go.
It's going to be an interesting one. But anyway, we're going to send it over to Trevor Quickshot and Goldberg. Or sorry, Trevor Quickshot? It's 3 different people. Anyway, World's Cooldown.
Multiple personalities are taken
Multiple personalities. Go to World's Cooldown.
You guys had a fantastic day of cast. Thank you, Dagda and Ashik.
That was a good day of Worlds.
4 games back to back to back.
That was a good day.
A long day here in Dublin. And at the end of it, it's coming up L's for Loud.
Who's playing tomorrow?
GAM, congratulations.
CTBC Flying Oyster. CTBC sounds like a vitamin or something. Detonation focus me, and then it's Team Wales versus BDS. So you better fucking be there for Team Wales versus BDS. You better fucking be there. If you're not there for Team Wales versus BDS, what are you doing with your life?
Loud came out looking stronger, looking better, somewhat as you expected, but I think in much more dramatic fashion even.
Yeah, but this is what we saw from Loud at the CBLOL normally. They would have a bad early game,
right?
And then they would have to try and fight themselves back. So when
I am traveling.
This game too, I was never really
You're traveling.
looking at it. Like, sure, GAM, they looked actually really good in the early game, and they got a lot of things going for them too. But when it had to the late game, that had been one of the hard times for GAM as well to really equalize on. And when you play against a team like Loud, they will absolutely punish.
Wait, I have to go to somewhere. It's like 4 PM, I think. Wait, let me check what time I have to go to somewhere.
The only clean game. The rest of it though, great Loud team fighting.
Yeah, those 2 moments for GAM that I saw, the Lee Sin kick that ended up turning really poorly for them. The mid
at 4:45, which is in 4 hours. Okay, we're chilling. You're going outside? Yeah, I'm going outside to get a haircut. I'm getting a haircut.
Was substantial.
Look at my hair. It's long as fuck.
That lead gave me a lot of hope, but it started to slip away.
The only times I leave the house is haircut, check the mail, take out the trash, or
interesting about this particular series is coming into it. I think most people would have expected Loud to be somewhat favored.
Yeah.
In terms of both their recent performances as well as the recent Asian games and the impact on GAM as a roster.
Or to the LEC studio. Oh wait. Oh wait a sec. Oh.
First pentakill of Worlds 2023. It just looked great in game 1, pleasantly surprising, and the traditional Loud in game 2
too soon. Why you gotta say that?
So they ultimately will advance. Very quickly as an aside, how many pentakills did you put in your pick'ems?
2 or 3. 2 probably. I'm not happy about seeing this already.
Yeah, I think I'm good. I had 3+. I was like, this should be a lot.
I'd love to know how many you put on your pick'ems at home. Okay, we're gonna carry on just discussing the games a little bit while we're still setting up for an interview.
What is this? I can't KEKW's Mario Kart record versus Caedrel, 170 to 29. What? That's bollocks. Bro, that's bugged. That's completely bugged.
Game 2 was a little bit closer to my expectation with the Lee Sin play. Levi was a little bit more on the map, being able to make plays, the stronger team fights around River. That was closer to what I expected.
That is
still really
bugged.
Disappointed in how they can't close games. That's something that they need to be able to sort out.
That
especially
bugged.
This is a good piece of VOD to review going into the lower bracket.
Bugged.
We need to recognize, okay, we have this advantage. We need to be on the same page in how we end up fights, because we looked at the Lee Sin kick pretty extensively, actually. The one that
are we playing Mario Kart now?
Yeah, maybe. River. That's something where they're just not on the same page, or even see an angle on a lethal. They don't have lethal at all.
Maybe we do some Mario Kart and then we do some tracking the pros. How does that sound?
At the same time, I just don't see a kill happening there. So they're pretty on edge when it comes to late game, and you hate to see it.
Yeah, but I also just think that, you know.
Look, I know all the League Frogs are going to leave now. League Frogs. Thank you for hanging out, League Frogs. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the co-stream or later today for the tracking of the bros. Right now, I need to tell my fucking Twitch chat to shut the fuck up. Check the Reddit real quick. I can't put the song on Spotify. Why can't I accept the Discord invite? Unable to accept invite. I don't know. What does that mean? Does that mean he's banned? Does that mean he's banned? Bot cap. True. Just finished my degree in macromaniacs. What the fuck is that? Macronomics. I'm not letting bounce, please. Bro, that one was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I will give you that one.